saying it's tired of waiting. We can leave this whole place behind.
Eyes were wide open as he saw me running through the trees. He said, "Little lady, why don't you slow down? I don't want you to hurt yourself now. I've been trying to run away from myself, change my DNA and be somebody else. I've been trying to escape, trying to change my skin. All I ever really wanted was a place to fit in. Thought I heard the moon talking back to me. He said, I know exactly what you mean. I never felt like I meant anything to call home. Mr. Moon, I don't know if this means much to you, but planet Earth, well, she can't get enough of you. She's been writing you love songs and poems, and if you were to leave, I think she might be broken. Then the moon got quiet again, and I thought I had lost my new friend. And the moon said she feels the same way about you. She's been growing flowers for your hair, and she loves to hear you sing freely through the air. Did you know she's not been feeling well? I said, yeah, I could tell. She's been trying to fight for life by herself. She's been trying to make a home for everyone else. She's been trying to be patient, trying to be kind, but all of this illusion is fogging her mind. Then I felt the earth shift beneath my feet, and I felt the warmth of the moonbeam. For the first time I felt okay in my skin, 'cause I finally found a place where I fit in. darkness with all that we've got. We keeping on. But oh mama, we've made it to the other side singing. Oh mama, oh mama. Hold your head up high. This is our time. Hold your head up high. This is our time. Together we will rise, step into the light. We were born to come alive. Hold your head up high. This is our time. This is our reaching higher, always up. Keep climbing until we're on top. Leave the shadows below. But oh mama, we've made it to the highest heights singing. Oh mama, oh mama. Hold your head up high. This is our time. Hold your head up high. This is our time. Together we will rise, step into the light. We were born to come alive. Hold your head up high. This is our time.
Push the button, let's get active. Show me how you act when it's action. I gotta warn you, this is different than the practice. Cause battle after battle make a savage. It's what I'm made for. Big mistake, bro. But he doing all he can, can't stay close. Watch out. Let me show you how it's done. Take notes, no way I take a loss. Better pray the game broke. Drop in, walk him down. Boom, boom, caught him. Lock in. Watch me go to work as if I clocked in. It's been getting out of hand, somebody stop him. You wish you could. I'm too good. Yeah. I make it look easy. I make it look easy. I'm way too good. Yeah. I make it look easy. I make it look easy. I'm way too good. I'm way too turned up, heat it up, burn up, put the pressure on them and I probably might hurt some. Watch the moves on me, you might just learn some. Try it and you fail, not the only or the first one. A lot of names on that list who try to stop me, but not a single one of them was copy. I pack them up, I roll them out, I'm serving them some maki. Only way to win is if you copy, but I'm too good. Yeah. I make it look easy. I make it look easy. I'm way too good. Yeah. I make it look easy. I make it look easy. I'm way too good. I'm about to turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. I'm about to get wild.
dry. You can't look back. You fake it and you hold it. I won't first. Let me show you what is inside. Tell me, where are we going? Where are we going? Tell me.
Bye, bro.
Let's go.
Yunara's been doing her job for a long time, but centuries of standing guard in the Spirit Realm have only sharpened her resolve and her aim. In-game, Yunara is an ADC for ADCs, with a focus on core marksman skills like spacing and orb blocking. She's all about ramping up power and unleashing it at exactly the right time. So pour yourself some tea and brush up on your ancient Ionian. It's time for the Yunara Champion Spotlight.
The time has come to prune the tree.
Up first, Yunara's passive, Vow to the First Lands. Her critical strikes deal extra magic damage. And now that's it. That's the entire passive. Yunara's Q is Cultivation of Spirit. She gains stacks of Unleash by attacking enemies. At max stacks, Yunara can activate Q to, you guessed it, Unleash for a few seconds. She gains attack speed, bonus damage on hit, and deals splash damage in a small area with each attack. Unleash stacks decay quickly out of combat, so Yunara wants to stay in the fray to stay at her strongest. Next, W is Arc of Judgment. Yunara sends a swirling prayer beat out, which damages and slows enemies as it travels. It slows down any time it hits a target, then lingers and expands at its terminus, continuing to damage enemies who don't get out of the way. For E, Yunara activates Kanmei's Steps, which grants her a quick burst of move speed to chase down enemies, reposition, or dodge skill shots. Now let's focus on her ultimate, Transcend One's Self. With R, Yunara taps into her full power, entering a transcendent state for several seconds that enhances all of her basic abilities for the duration. Her Q, Cultivation of Spirit, instantly activates and empowers her attacks for as long as she's transcended, which is a long duration upgrade. Her W, Arc of Judgment, becomes Arc of Ruin. Instead of a swirling prayer bead, she fires a beam of spirit magic that slows and deals high damage in a line. Finally, her E, Kanmei Steps, becomes Untouchable Shadow. She gains a short dash instead of movement speed, and the ult cast resets the cooldown. She can dive out of danger or right into the fight. When Yunara transcends oneself, her enemies don't have a prayer.
Age of Retribution!
Like many other AD carries, Yunara wants to play safe until she finds the right moment to get aggressive. She's truly powerful with a fully stacked Q. If Cultivation of Spirit is ready to activate, it might be a good time to fight. An even better time to fight? When her ult is up. Her mobility is pretty limited most of the time, so opponents want to lock her down before she goes all Super Kinku mode. Positioning is key here. All that potential power means nothing if she doesn't live long enough to use it. Yunara is meant for you ADC purists. Her ramping power might feel familiar if you like playing Ashe or even Zeri. Basically anyone who likes decimating enemies with a relentless barrage of autos. Find out what more than 200 years of Spirit Realm experience looks like with Yunara, the Unbroken Faith.
Perseverance, patience, providence.
Alright, so what's up ladies and gentlemen? Also, dito na po tayo sa third day of Liga Republika. And again, an amazing set of PH teams na maglaban-laban para lang makasecure ng slot sa ating LCP. And of course, slot is going to be very hot set gonna happen for today. Kung nakikita nyo naman yung mga streams natin in the previous days, you know that this is the top of PH League. Once again, pakilala muna kami. I am Dumpster Fire. Here with me is none other than Salvatore.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, no, Dumpster Fire. It's such an exciting day for more League of Legends. So it's definitely a fun day kasi ito na yung mistulang rally ng mga teams towards immortality. And I can't really wait to what's going to transpire after almost 2 days already of group stages na for sure naman sobrang nakakaangat na ng standard when it comes to gameplay of League of Legends. Now, third day, let's see kung kaya nga ba taasan to ng mga teams. So let's talk about the tournament of format right now, no? Mga kasamanos dyan, as we now have a single elimination qualifiers from July 4 all the way to July 7 where the top 3 teams will be grouped into 4 groups, no? And after that we have the coveted round robin. Ang top 4 teams will advance towards the playoffs.
And of course, coming into this game, sa ngayon, nasa single elimination pa tayo in the qualifier stage. And again, we won't be seeing any teams more than once sa itong stage na to. And if you can remember actually, in the previous days already, nakikita natin naglalaban-laban yung mga teams. And of course, we're not going to be able to stream all the games kasi as of the moment, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be going into Group C. And there are already like 15 teams, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to be only showing and showcasing a few of these games.
Yeah, it's wonderful, no? So those 15 teams, very sure, no, na those are the teams that really practiced really hard, no? And we want to validate with this kind of beacon, no, itong pagkakataon na to sa Liga Republika kung ano nga ba ang magiging kakayahan nila for that road to the Summoners Cup. Nga pre, ang fallout natin kahapon from the Group B qualifiers, we have Ouroboros, Kraken GX, and Amigo Esports, with Kraken GX looking one of the most dominating teams we have seen in Group B, no? From the amount of teams that really played, Kraken GX sila talaga yung kumuha ng attention natin, no? What you think, Dumpster Fire?
Oo nga, I definitely saw the vast majority of their games yesterday, and I can say lang, no, na it's for real. It's for real this time coming into PH League. Kikita natin talaga kung anong kaya ng ating mga kababayan coming into this game. And of course, everyone is looking at that coveted prize. Everyone's looking at the opportunity to make a name for themselves coming into this tournament. Paring Salve.
Yeah, so it's not just this Liga Republika ang sineselebrate natin, no? It's the growth of the League of Legends community. The stage is set once again for more teams to be the hopefuls, no? Ang mga nangangarap dun sa inaasam talaga nila, no, which is none other than to be the champion, no? And hindi lang yun, one of the teams that will eventually be the champion dito sa tournament na to, no, will have the chance to be the representative of the Philippines to the League of Legends Championship Pacific. That is the LCP Wildcard Playoffs. So what a reward it would be for the team, no?
That's right. And I think we all have the similar dream, no, sa League of Legends community here sa PH na makikita tayong PH team na naglalaro sa Worlds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so when was it, no? Kailan ba tayo huling nag-compete internationally? I think it was Pacifica and as well as Mineski pa. Way back in the day. Correct me if I'm wrong, no? Way back in the day. At nandito na tayo sa 2025, no? Where now everyone can now have the chance, no? Dito sa mga teams na nangangarap nga talaga, may pagkakataon na nga sila lumipad ng ibang bansa para mag-compete dito sa 860,000 pesos na prize pool. Would you believe it, no, pre?
Grabe.
Daming arte nun!
A very good, no, side benefit lang naman, di ba? Kasi yung main goal is to join LCP.
Of course.
Be able to compete and represent your country. But of course, meron din naman tayong bigyan na prize pool. 860,000. Wow! Wag na may nag-uusap pa kami ng peripherals kanina, parang ang dami mong mabili doon, pre.
Ilang dami ng mabibiling keyboard tsaka mouse talaga doon. Pero ang pinakamahalaga pre skins. Joke lang. Hindi ako nangongolekta ng skins. Pero kung isa ka sa mga nangongolekta at kung isa ka sa mga mahilig mongolekta talaga ng skins, kung ako sa'yo, mag-compete ka na dito sa Liga Republika. Kasi hahatiin mo pa yung 860,000 na yan. Pwede mong kunin ng para sa'yo lang. Di ko alam kung paano mo didiskarte.
Wala. Sa kanila na yun Sa kanila yung hati Ako yung papanalo sa atin. Akin na yung lahat.
Ito, the age-old question, no? Ikaw muna tatanungin ko, Martin. What would you do dun sa 860,000? Kasi that's definitely life-changing money.
ay bibigay ko na medyo philanthropist kasi ako, pre. Bibigay ko lang yan
Yun.
sa PH League community. Oh, yun, di ba?
Oh
Pwede
my
lang.
goodness.
Okay lang ba yung sagot na yun?
That's my idol. Yan ang ehemplo ng kabaitan nga naman talaga, ano. That's dumpster fire, no. So, my man, para nakaka-inspire ka, no. As you can see, guys, we will be starting in a bit, in under 15 seconds. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Make sure you are tuned in for the action here at Liga Republika at hindi namin kayo bibiguin sa mga aksyong makikita nyo. Kasi nga, kaabang-abang ang mga laban dito lamang sa Liga Republika. So, stick around.
At pasok na tayo sa draft phase of our very first game, paring Salvatore. And of course, for this game, we're gonna have Reapers, if I'm not mistaken, going up against Fervent esports.
Yeah. So these are punta muna tayo sa Fervent Esports, no, kasi sila yung mas far familiar from the league community. I believe Fervent Esports has been competing for almost 2 years now. And nagkaroon naman sila ng major roster changes quite some time, no. If I could remember, andito pa si Ezerk tsaka si Ame noon at that time. Pero now wala na akong kaalam-alam dito sa Fervent Esports. They might have done an off-season change there in a bit, pero may kita nga natin mamaya kung paano nga ba nag-unfold ang kanilang galawan sa opisina ng Fervent Esports. Reapers, no? Let's see if this could be a possible upset kasi nga Reapers could be a team na is very unknown, and taking down Fervent Esports is already a good feat of its own.
Yeah, I think that's what's most exciting, no, dito sa Liga Republika. Alam naman natin, no, all of the teams here, kahit di naman sila kilala, or even if it's just a few friends gathering each other up to try and play up in this tournament, is that they're all have a similar goal, which is to make a name for themselves coming into this. But of course, the picks, the bans already coming in very, very smoothly in our first game.
Yeah, Fervent Esports respecting the hard engages here from the Azir and Pantheon, no? So kung papi ba to, I feel like this is not a chance for both teams to prioritize on Rel and Kaisa, one of the few duos na pwede natin kaabangan sa bot lane ngayon. Maganda dito, no? For Fervent and Reapers, i-prior na kagad nila yung bot lane to open up the space para makapag-counter kagad. But Reapers setting up at the court right now with a Xin Xiao on the jungle. So probably a Vi or even a Lee Sin could use some good early game potency para dito sa Fervent.
Oo nga, maaaring. And it's also a very, very strong early pick, no? There's not really a lot of things that you can help counter Xin Zhao. And of course, just being able to adjust and play around the vast majority of the map as the game goes on is something that's very, very important. And you have to pick for these very first picks. And of course, the Rumble already here as well being shown. Can we just appreciate muna, no? At I'm pretty sure that other casters sa previous streams natin, no? Parang pinagko-comment talaga sila sa 3D na pinakita natin. Oh, wow, look at that. Kita mo yung
ang ganda kasi naman talaga. Grabe nga. Huge shoutouts to our partner broadcast, that being Serial Kitten, for the assets. Everything na nakikita nyo, sila mismo gumawa niya, no? And it's just mesmerizing.
Look at that.
To what we are seeing right now. It's just pure art. Cinema, kumbaga, no?
Cinema.
And going back to the draft phase, Dumpster Fire, ito na nga ang ating lock-in from the Casante and as well as the Oriana. So you can definitely have some team fighting already just from the 3 picks alone by Reapers. So if this is Oriana, there should be a Rise pick or a Victor kasi open to. You need some pokes. Napakalakas ng engage na meron dito ang RP, and the gap closes are even better.
Oo, maaari yun. But of course, we are gonna be able to jump into the ban phase as well later on. But they do finish up their first 3 picks with a Kiana. And of course, this is something that is gonna be really, really important coming into the game, no? Kasi pag iisipin natin yung team clash, of course, we have our Reaper already very, very solid in the team fight, as you said, with the 3 picks that they had. But again, we also have the Rumble here coming from Fervent Esports. And I think the vast majority of everything, just being able to assassinate and go for those pick-offs, Kiana is a very, very well-rounded pick din for Fervent around the map.
Yeah, well, that's a very unorthodox pick para sa Fervent no? Hindi tayo madalas nakakakita ng Kiana, no? Pero kung darating yan sa mid, feeling ko medyo mahihirapan siya sa mga early runs ng mga laban considering na range dito ang Orianna, ang laking bagay na merong poke na command attack at saka dissonance, no? So isa yun sa mga bagay na pwedeng ikagastos talaga ng Kiana pagdating sa farming no? So baka it's a probably prioritizing the roam para talaga makuha nga nila yung ganks, but it's very important for Fervent to now pick an engage heavy support. Probably a Rel. Pwede rin nga Renata dito actually kung tingin nga nila mas mapapalakas pa yung enhancement ng team fighting nila. Kasi malakas na yung AoE ng Rumble. Meron na rin presensya dito ng Rage when it comes to Jhin. So already Reapers just denying everything that has something to do with engaging.
Alright, the Hover of Victor nag-pick na rin. And of course, yeah, as you were saying, no, Fervent Esports, may damage na sila. They have a little bit of team fight as well. Pero yung kulang nila, hindi ko nakikita pa, is yung frontline nila. Right? And Rel would definitely be a very, very available pick for them there. But again, going back to the Kiana pick, no, something very, very unique. Di pa natin nakikita in the past few days. And I think a fun fact that would be very mind-blowing to you, no, and the vast majority of our viewers, is that 88 out of 171 champions ang nagagamit na in the past 2 days pa lang, no? And since we didn't see Kiana at all, if I'm not mistaken, isa na yun. So it's gonna be 89 at least.
So 89 na yan.
89 na.
Baka nga 90 pa no? Kasi nakakita tayo ng Crescente dito, no? At baka mas lalo pa siyang dumagdag habang tumatagal itong araw na to, no? So far, wala pa tayong nakikitang formidable frontline here from Fervent at inis na siya na nga sa gitna ng araw ng Rel for Reapers, no? So pwede na mag-Alistar dito ang Fervent if they want some form of engage. Kasi ang nakikita ko lang talaga para sa Fervent is mag-start sila via the poke. At na nga, nag-hover na nga sila sa Alistar dito at ilalaki na nga nila yan, and that's only their option para talaga masabi natin meron silang kakayahan para mag-peel for the Jhin. Na feeling ko, isa sa mga magiging asset ng Fervent towards the mid to late game. Kasi lahat ng nakikita ko dito from the Rumble and the Victor, they just really have to play safe in order to get to gain something from the Dragon and the Baron fights. So yun na nga, lock in na nga yung dalawang teams natin dito when it comes to the drafting. And so far Martin, mas nagagandahan ako sa drafting ng Reapers.
Oo nga. Pero when you talk, it all goes down to how you're gonna be able to play the game. Kasi when you talk about Fervent din naman, no, makikita mo talaga na medyo may poke sila. Kasi when you talk about Jhin as an ADC, you don't really kind of imagine sort of consistent damage. Parang may blend siya of being an assassin because apat lang yung bala niya. And of course, we can't, put out of the record talaga yung 4th bullet damage, especially coming into later into this game.
Yeah, so a lot of gap closers here actually for Reapers, no, knowing na wala naman talagang pantakas ang Jhin. Probably the movement speed, pero saan ka makakapwesto para makuha yung ganong klaseng trait no? So buti na nga lang meron tayong Alistar, probably a tanky Rod of Ages build para dito sa Rumble, no? If not, probably the Liandry's kasi ang dami nga nilang health scaling dito. You have the Crescente Essential and as well as the Rel that could really use the Liandry's burn para talaga mas ma-burst pa ng Fervent dito. Kasi habang tumatagal ng laban, pag nakikitaan ng pwesto at spacing dito ang Saya and as well as the Orianna, medyo alanganin ang Fervent when it comes to team fighting. But the macro will speak for itself pag pumasok na nga tayo sa loob ng Summoners Rift, Martin. So kayo ba dyan guys sa comment section, baka gusto nyong iboto na ngayon kung sino nga bang pambato nyo para manalo sa ating unang laban ng qualifiers for today. We have Reapers and Fervent. Let us know in the comments, baka mabati namin yan ni Martin maya-maya.
Of course, and of course, if you can look at the 3D, no, parang nagka-face-to-face yung mga champions natin bago pumasok sa Summoners Rift, no? Ayan, may stare down lang sila coming into this game. And again, very, very interesting. And of course, this is just the first game, ladies and gentlemen. So, kung kayo lang ay nasa bahay lang, di ba? This is a Sunday. And if you guys are just tuning in, please like and share the stream. Tell your friends to come watch. This is League of Legends PH, ladies and gentlemen, at its peak.
Yeah, so very, very exciting, no? Araw ng pahinga at pero ang laban pa rin dito, no, is yung kakayahan nga ba nila maging consistent. So it is indeed rest day, but rest is for the weary, no? Kasi kahit ultimo linggo dapat naglalaro tayo ng League of Legends. Who wouldn't want to play some League of Legends? Kahit aram lang pre, no? Like this would be a really, really chill day to not think about anything and just aram or even a bit of Summoners Rift. At lalong-lalo na nga rin bumalik ang ating arena mode, no, na 2v2. That would be really, really nice to play with your duo. No? At lalong-lalo na pwede mo na nga rin gawing custom yun. No? Kasi marami ka nang pwedeng invite sa lobby nila. Pero dito muna tayo sa ating traditional 5v5 which is very very exciting to see. So far, so good para sa ating dalawang groups na naglaro na ngayon from the past 2 days. Group C, let's see kung kaya nga ba nilang angatan ang standard dito when it comes to gameplay.
That's right. And of course, since Liga Republika is now on its second year, no, of course, we want to keep continuing the improvement of your viewing experiences as well for the community. So, kung ano ba yung mga gusto nyo makita sa Liga, comment nyo lang dyan. And of course, we will take it into vast consideration, especially along with Prod and the rest of the people that are helping make Liga Republika possible. And again, jumping into the game, we're gonna have to see the macro and micro plays coming in from both of these teams. So, try and round up yung mga picks nila. Because sa nakikita natin, of course, you were able to predict the vast majority of the picks, no? Which I commend. And again, the Alistar being the only remaining pick that Fervent Esports could pick up there so that they'd have a little bit more of a front line. We want to be able to see how they're gonna be able to play it later on in the game. Kasi parang ang daming engage talaga ng Reaper. They can definitely just jump up right onto this Jin's face and parang trabaho na ata ng Alistar yun para ma-defend yung ADC nila.
Yeah. Shockwave, Crashdown, All Out, all of those utilities na masasabi mo nga talagang threatening para sa chances dito ng Fervent. But we would like a really good underdog story. No? Kahit nga bigyan pa natin ng bangko na natatayuan tong Reapers, no? There is still a chance here for Fervent to do something really, really funny during the early to mid game. No? Kasi nga, I think the Dragon fights will be very, very interesting. And that's one of the few times na pwede nga tayo makakita ng madugong 5v5. And you kinda like to see those kind of action, no, talaga, Martin. And
especially
in few seconds time, magsisimula na nga tayo dito sa ating laban between Reapers and Fervent. And like I said, ito na nga tayo, no, Martin. Let us now rejoice, that being the Summoner's Rift, kasi nga nandito na nga sa ating mga pagbumuka. It's now time for the duel of Reapers versus Fervent. My goodness.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you guys are just staying tuned, no, alam naman natin na yung laro natin is going to be a single elimination. So this is very, very important. Parang do or die ka agad kakasimula pa lang ng ating tournament, di ba? And of course, it is gonna be very, very important for all of these teams to do the best that they can kasi parang 3 lang yata yung makapasok sa group stage natin galing sa bracket C, which is what's going to be playing today.
Pero nakikita mo ba, meron tayong man of culture dito para sa Fervent Esports. Shout out sa Alistar nila, no? Jakura fan pa siya, pre. Yan gusto ko sa mga League of Legends players, pre, no? Wala silang kinakatakutan talaga sa pagpili ng mga IGN. Para meron bang dedicated na page para sa mga nakakatawang summoner name, eh, no? So, isa dyan dito si Alistar, no? Shout out sa mga mahilig manood dyan at nagpapara-social kay Jakura.
May nonchalant din tayo na Victor, no? I don't know, I don't care. Parang ganun lang, di ba? Pero tong si Shinjao, parang manatiling Shinjao lang talaga to siya.
So paano nating babanggitin si Victor, no?
Di ba?
Martin?
Di ba? Wala tayong magagawa dyan.
Sige, bahala na lang, no?
Ikaw na. So yan na, of course, a very, very chill early game. We're gonna be able to try and see whether or not these teams are gonna try and go for something, no, later on. We'll probably wait until any action happens at around yung mga level 2 spikes nila, diba? Medyo level 2 na yung engages. But again, just a very, very chill game so far. Both teams trying to play to their wits, but we'll see how they're gonna move around the map eventually, which I think is going to be a very, very big factor in deciding the outcome of this game.
So this is a very good read para kay Poppy, no, na mag-start siya dito on the top side to probably go force a counter gank kasi malakas kagad yung presence ng Shenxiao the moment that he full clears to level 4. Meron siyang maaasahan talaga na engage dito, that being random player. So if ever man na magkaroon ng same pathing tong si Poppy and as well as the Shenxiao, and a fight just might break out on the level 4. A possible dive pa nga rin, no, kasi they really have good early damage just from the Jhin alone. So inaantay pa nga natin kung magiging effective yung mga pokes dito, especially from that fourth shot na pwedeng ikalambot netong Saya.
Oo nga. And if you look at the lineup coming in from Reaper actually, no, again, back to their draft, it is a vast majority of a brawler setup. No? Meron tayong Kasante. And of course, the Shinja also with the Conqueror already available. We're trying to, I think, in the vast majority of the team fight, parang gusto nilang isa-stretch ito. Kasi alam naman nila, eventually, when the items ramp up, tong Saya natin, di ba, makaka-item to, and we'll be able to deal consistent damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, it's a very odd pathing para dito kay Poppy. No, after he goes for three camps dun sa top, kinuha niya kagad yung recall niya para makakuha ng longsword. So that's already a damage advantage pag kinalaban niya yung Xin Zhao. But DPS is far more important than burst damage in the early game kasi merong Conqueror dito na kayang i-sustain ni Xin Zhao. So that's gonna be very concerning kung kaya nga bang mag-skirmish ng Fervent in the early game. So walang makukuhang bush control muna panandalian dito si random player kasi nga mabilis mag-clear talaga si Nomi because of that because of the early game damage na meron dito ang Jhin. So it's fairly quiet. Walang masyadong movement. It's the normal one. So talagang roaming lang dito yung possible na pwedeng gawin ni Jakura, and an overextending Narf could be in threats right now. Wala pa siyang mana but both summoners are up, and here comes Jakura gang, forced the flash, and that's the mid laner going back to the tower.
Oo nga. And again, you mentioned earlier, no, the early recall coming in from the Kiana to get that long shot. And I think it's a very smart play naman, knowing that the Kiana clear isn't essentially the best in the game. Again, going up against the Xin Zhao, you are going to be dealing with a lot of things later on. Kaya yung mga skirmishes, you need every advantage you can get against the Xin Zhao, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, maganda na yung canvas na nakita natin, no? And that's just a long sword. And already an ignite burned by Jakura dun sa buhay ni random player, and the folks are doing pretty well at may prior na dito ang Fervent, so they could eye Dragon in few minutes time. Good blade caller to add more damage. So feeling ko yung mga ADCs talaga yung mag-shine na para sa matchup na to, no? Their scaling might just overpower our top laners right now, and it's very important para talaga tumagal sa laban na to. Kung talagang magkakatalo sa top lane at makuha ni Solis yung magandang pwesto dito, so they have to rely on Rocky to get that snowball eventually once the Dragon fights.
That's right. And of course, as of the moment, no, yung mga mid laners natin, medyo just playing a chill game lang. Parang nagche-chess lang dito sa mid, no? Meanwhile, yung bottom lane naman, laging nagsiskirmish. Ayan na, nasa tower na. To si Rocket at si random player. But again, as you mentioned later on, it is going to be probably a bot lane game, especially later on into this match, no? We're gonna be able to see how these bot lanes fare. Pero as of the moment, it seems Reaper is faring pretty well naman up against this Alistar, as well as now Nomi on that Jhin.
Yeah, so Dragon is now alive. So safe to say na kaya nga kunin ng Fervent yung control dito sa may bandang bottom side. At kumuha na lang na mabilis na parayo si IDK-IDC to eventually get that very huge Chaos Storm that would deal a lot of damage kahit nga amplifying tong pa lang yung item niya dito. No? AoE is good. Any AoE is good AoE. So any prio from both IDK and as well as Nomi is a good enough sign na kahit papano merong control tong laban na to, kasi Fervent can handle their lanes fairly on their own, and really nice lane management could get you so far in this game. So parang pinapasimulan na nga to ni Poppy pulling down the Dragon, but random player just scouting out the map. Jakura on the opposite side of the map. So I feel like there is going to be a Dragon fight incoming. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems as though they've already started it. Random player. I don't know if Reaper is very keen to try and contest this. No, just looking at how they're positioned in the map, considering that Narf is currently getting rooted down already. Could this be first blood? Could be
a fight, and there's going to be a first blood here via IDK, and the fight still continues as random player now running away. Death Ray trying to burst down the damage of a random player, but that's just one kill so far for Fervent plus a Dragon.
That's right, and Jakura was just waiting in that bush, paring salve. Like, he was just sitting there the entire time, waiting for the right opportunity, and there it was. And of course, with Nomi as well, rotating towards the Dragon, was able to find that route that helped secure first blood.
So yeah, so ang investment ngayon ng Fervent is their CC chain, which is quite effective, no? Kasi you have gravity field, you have the element of ice para dito kay Poppy, and as well as yung headbutt pulverize dito ni Jakura, no? So maaasahan mo nga talaga ang Fervent kumuha ng pick off nga naman. So Jakura already walking up. It looks like Nomi wants to go for a fight. Headbutt pulverize towards random player, but Rocky is getting some free hits. He's level 6. He does have Feather Storm, pero hindi niya pa nga ginagastos kagad. And here comes Shattering Strike. One more hit and Rocky will get the kill. Jakura now running away using the pulverize para makapag-buy ng time. Headbutt towards the tower, but Rocky is still hitting Jakura with no unbreakable will. One kill towards the ADC of Reapers.
Grabe talaga, no? The Feather Storm purely for damage and will be able to bring them down. That is gonna be a very, very important kill that Reaper needed, especially after having given first blood in the middle lane. And I think if they just keep this kind of aggression up, no? Because eventually, what we see in the vast majority of these teams is medyo nagbabaklang. An engage coming in from Solis,
red
and Poppy's
carpet,
right here.
nilatag na nga, entrance na nga dito si Poppy para maging 2v1 na nga all out para gamiting pantakas, and here comes supreme display of talent as he's going to be running away scot-free. Nakatakas na nga si Magikero Optimus, and here comes the police pangkalawakan at nakapasok na nga ang Xin Xiao dito. 2 more hits and 1 more as Blade becomes lightning here for the Xin Xiao as they get the counter gank.
A little bit unfortunate for Solis there, no? Di nakapag-back agad, and that is gonna be a very good rotation coming in from RP to try and bring the game a little bit more even. Sa net worth lead naman natin, it's not that big. And I think as of the moment, the Void Grubs are already being looked at. Whether or not Fervent are going to contest this is completely up to them, but you can already see Jakura and Poppy moving up a little bit.
Really tough to contest this, pero kasama na nga naman nila si Nomi dito. It is a skirmish that could happen anytime soon. Poppy has smite in a few seconds at wala pang smite dito yung Xin Xiao. Poppy is kind of trapped, pero pwede siyang pantakas dito, and here comes a shockwave as they burst everything down para sa nag-iisang Poppy, and Reapers claim the feat of Warper plus 2 Void Grubs. That's already huge for the early game.
That's right. And they already started it as well. It is going to be a very, very big problem, especially if Fervent Esports just keep giving RP these counter engages. Nagsisimula naman yung Fervent dun eh. They are able to try and move in as well. But RP playing it beautifully, no? Sa dance natin dito sa river. And it is going to be a very big problem if Fervent aren't able to adapt to that kind of aggression coming from RP.
So, Reapers just utilizing their strong DPS in the early game. Just to throw off Fervent, no? Fervent is just all about burst damage and just catching people off guard. Reapers was able to read off the map para talaga makapag-start sila ng lane swap dito to counteract the movement of both Solis and as well as Nomi. So magandang bagay na to para sa Reapers that they're kinda inside of the game and inside of the heads now of Fervent. With this 2-kill lead by Reapers, every skirmish has been very, very successful. Malakas lang talaga mag-pick off ang Fervent. Pero yun pa rin yung kailangan nilang respetuhin from Reapers eh.
And you can see there is already a lane dance as the top laners as well as the bot laners. Parang nagsaswap lang sila talaga dalawa. And this is something that you often see in a vast majority of league competitive tournaments, no? Just a lot of countering, just a lot of mirroring for the vast majority of these teams to make sure that, there isn't really any significant advantages or disadvantages that you lose or gain from either of these teams. And again, that's something that's going to be very, very important. But as we approach later on in the game, when the map control becomes different, ibang-iba na rin yung galaw ng ating mga teams.
So, I'm seeing a very equal footing for both the Kiana and the Xin Xiao sa pagja-jungle. No? So parang nagkakaroon ng effectivity kahit papaano kasi may presensya ng AoE si Poppy at burst damage. Yun naman talaga yung gusto nila dito sa Saya. No? Bago niya magastos yung Feather Storm niya, kailangan mawala na siya sa laban na to at mabilis na lang nila mababurst down na yung mga Xin Xiao and as well as the Kisante. So antay pa natin yung pagkakataon na yun. Didiskartehan pa ng Fervent kung ano yung magiging movement nila sa mapa. Lalo't pabuhay na yung mga objectives dito, that being the Dragon. At maya't maya din makikita na nga natin yung Void Grubs na umangat. So hindi ko lang sure kung ano yung kailangan gastusin ng Fervent dito para mahanap nila yung laban.
That's right. And if we're talking about items, no, kahit na may isang item na yung mga dalawang jungle natin, I think in the late game, we were thinking about just the vast majority of these team fights early on. It is gonna be very important as there is an engage
as they really want to kill off of this Rel, and supreme display of talent goes really wide. IDC takes down the Rel, and here comes the curtain call. Kasama na nga nila ang Kisante dito for Reapers, and Solis gets taken down. It's now a 1-for-1 as the fight still continues para dito sa dalawang teams na to, at buhay na nga yung Dragon, and the fight will now disengage. I think so. Jakara now walking up, pero mananahimik na nga panandalian.
That's right. Solis actually goes down. They're a little unfortunate for Fervent now as the Dragon is up. But look at the Xin Xiao's HP. Parang not the best way to try and engage as of the moment. And I don't think they're looking to pick up the DR as well later on. Because as of the moment, again, as I was talking about, the Sundered Sky from this Xin Xiao, I feel like will do a lot more in these team fights compared to the Ghost Blade na meron si Poppy, no?
Yeah, kung palipat-lipat ng target dito sa Xin Xiao, malaking sustain yan.
Yes.
At lalo't meron pa siyang battle cry mula sa passive niya, no? So the healing will be immense para sa Reapers, no? So because of the control and the prio of the lanes, mas mapapabor na ang panahon para sa Reapers, and they will get second Dragon.
Oo nga. And of course, yung mga feats of strength natin, no, meron na ba? Will there ever pick up? And then not yet as a moment. But again, the feats of strength also something that's going to be very, very important coming into this game. Yeah, in the vast majority of these teams as well. Again, the net worth lead, kahit 4-2 naman yung standing natin, medyo wala pa rin net worth lead na is too crazy coming in from RP. I think Fervent and both of these teams actually still faring very well in this first match.
Laking bagay din ni Solis no? Kasi nga pinapantay niya yung problema ng pera para sa Fervent because of the plates that he took on the top side, whereas Reapers just rely on the farming here of Raki and as well as the objectives. 3-man possible incoming at kailangan maging madiskarte dito si Jakora at saka si Nomi as the Xin Xiao is now clearing down the wards. Then the flourish will be wide as that is a very good clear here for Nomi and Jakora denying the dive.
That's right. I wonder if they were able to see the vision there as well. But Xin Xiao also not wasting any more time. Instantly nagro-rotate na kaagad moving towards that scuttle. And we'll take a recall as of the moment. So bottom lane is free for now from Fervent. But as you can see, Poppy already going with the invade here on towards that blue buff.
Yeah, maganda yan actually, no? So map control wise here for Fervent, mas nakikita natin on the jungle side and not really much on the side lanes. Maganda na to kahit papaano kasi Poppy once he gets a deep coverage of the map, malaking factor na to para mapag-iwanan ng XP yung Xin Xiao. And if more so, baka pwede pa nga silang makapag-tower dive pa nga no? Lalo't malakas naman na yung burst damage nila dito, no? At sa likod ng mga anino, kinuha ni Poppy yung Gromp dito ni Xin Xiao. And that's really, really nice, no? Kasi nga, meron ng confidence dito si Poppy. Look at the all-out. That's 200 years of an engage mula dito kay Optimus. And here comes the ulti of the Rumble. I got thrown off by that. Kailangan umuwi ni Poppy at nakita niya lang na duguan si Sole sa top.
Oo nga, yan nga 200 years of engage indeed. And of course, it's very, very important I think that Xin Xiao definitely went all in on that engage. Nagpa-flash pa siya dun kasi nung pinuntahan niya na yung top side niya, parang nakiklear na ni Poppy. Wala nang Gromp, wala na ring blue. Of course, he has to make something happen. Otherwise, he wastes a lot of time just being there for nothing.
Yan, dinala talaga no? Inaliyop ni Kobe papunta kay Shaq yung no? Ang ganda, yeah, the all out was just very, very calculated. Buti na nga lang papas ng top lane yung Xin Xiao and that was just an easy 2v1. Wala na nagawa si Papi din no? Kasi onti na lang makakauwi na ako, ba't pa ako kailangan sumama dyan kung pareho din naman na tayo mamamatay. So okay na rin maging EFAS, sabi Tito ng Fervent, no? So now with Rift Herald up, this is huge for Fervent kung makukuha nga nila to, but the map says otherwise. So far, Reapers does have a good footing pagdating sa ating map control.
Oh, they're trying to keep their vision on the area as well. And of course, you have to be worried about Optimus Princeps here on this Casante, no? Na maaari ding makakapag-rotate. And that is gonna be a team fight that I'm not necessarily sure Fervent are very sure that they will win. Especially with the vast majority of the plays that RP has already made. But it seems as though it is gonna be started by Reapers here. And again, just scouting out the area, finding people on the map, waiting to see whether or not is something that they're going to try and engage for.
Okay, malapit at top laner dyan sa comment section ngayon. Shoutout nga pala sa'yo, Boshan, at kay John Paul Reyes. Pero back to the ball game na tayo dito, mga kaibigan. As a lot of pokes being thrown out here for the Rift Herald. And the spacing here by Reapers is just threatening para sa Fervent. Yes, merong equalizer pang zone out to, but everything could be disengaged with just one good magnetic storm. Yun ang pinakamahalaga dito para sa side ng Reapers to push away the damage that could eventually be the downfall of Raki, kasi sa kanya sila umaasa talaga ng DPS and as well as damage. Already 8k HP na nga yung RH dito as a Fervent, looking for a perfect timing para mag-group up yung mga miyembro ng RP. As Poppy going in for the plug, and here comes the red carpet via the equalizer. At nag-iba na nga ng target ngayon ang Fervent as they're now prioritizing the Rift Herald. Raki doing some damage over to the front line here of Fervent. At papalit-palit nga tayo, naglalaro lang sila ng hilahan dito at pabalik na nga ng 8k HP yung Rift Herald dito, Martin. Nakakatawa nga naman pa mga pangyayari dito. And here comes Supreme Display of Talent plus the curtain calls. Ang robot is being thrown at two-man shockwave from Reapers and they're taking over the team fight. Raki walking up on the competition na parang sa kanya tong negosyon to. 7-2 scoreline. Reapers took over the top side.
That's a 2-for-0 exchange actually, plus the Herald in favor of Reapers. And that was very, very big coming in from them. You can already see the confidence that Raki has even this early on into the game, no? Just him hitting, gaining, the damage as well. Just trying to completely peel out Fervent before the fight even starts. And I think that played a very, very big part into why they were able to gain a few kills coming into that skirmish, plus the Herald.
Yeah, so very nice team fighting at una pa lang sinabi na nga natin na the drafting will speak louder here for Reapers, and they definitely did from the amount of space na nakuha doon ni Rocky just from fronting as sa kaya yung threat na meron siya bilang isang damage dealer was just so good na hindi na kagad nakapag-walk up doon si Nomi. Even the curtain call didn't do any damage kasi nga ang lakas ng pag-tank dito and pag-peel nila random player and as well as Optimus Princeps, no? Target selection was just very nice para sa Reapers.
Oo nga. And of course, it is gonna be a problem for Fervent if this keeps going on later in the game. And with the draft that they have up against Reaper's draft, no, I think they were faring pretty well. But if you want to win the game, that's a whole nother story, no? Dapat kayong talagang mag-perform. And again, you have to outperform Reaper, who as of the moment have been very good with, again, as you mentioned, their champion selection, no?
Yeah, Fervent just reading off the map and the pacing as well kasi nga kontrolado na pinapangawakan ng Reapers tong laron to on a chokehold, and it's very important for Fervent to just pace it off kung ano nga yung magiging reaction nila sa atake mismo ng Reapers as the Dragon is now up getting that prio over to the mid lane, pero hindi nga nila muna makukuha pa ng dalian dito yung mid tower. It would have been huge kasi makakapag-space na dito ang Reapers sa blue side ng Fervent, but that would be paused momentarily. Both top laners does have teleport up para makasama sila at maging party na nga to sa may bandang bottom side. Jakora now walking up, random players zoning out the competition, and here comes Magnet Storm plus a shockwave over to Poppy, and he gets bursted down. Random player will cost his life, pero ang ganda naman ngayon ng pasok ng Reapers. Chaos Storm already activated by IDK to try and peel off some form of damage. Raki going in, and he's pushing right click towards the life of Jakora, and Reapers just taking over.
And again, this is something that you have to credit into the way RP has been playing the vast majority of this game. No? Kasi kung nakikita mo dun, before the fight even started, there were already 3 different wards in 3 separate locations na napakalapit-lapit lang here for RP. And that means Fervent had no vision whatsoever and did not know what they were running into. And this is something that's very important, especially coming into the game and the positioning that you're going to be having as RP. And as you can see, they were able to claim the life of Solis and Poppy, which did serve them well later on.
Yeah, so definitely no ang gastos ng ginawa din ni random player Flash and as well as a Magnet Storm just for one target, pero I kind of saw the intention naman dun. I think it was to zone out IDK plus the Poppy itself kasi nga pag nakuha nila yung Supreme Display of Talent, ang laking bagay at ang laking AoE damage talaga nung Chaos Storm na yun. So they don't really want to hurt their chances of getting Soul Point, which eventually they did. So maganda na rin yung nagiging pwesto dito ng RP because they're willing to take risks of the 50-50s here. So very nice as long as Fervent keeps their morale up kasi nga meron pa silang pag-asa dito via the scaling Victor, they might get a handful of team fights in the mid game.
Oo nga, but RP has already been gaining a little bit of traction for every team fight that they've won so far. The last 2 both gave them 2k net worth lead respectfully. So now we're currently sitting at a comfortable 4k as Poppy will get engaged here by the Xin Zhao.
Ito na ang pasok ni Jakora plus a shattering strike, a deadly flourish to seal down his place.
Good carpet.
But the fight will break down eventually dahil nga sa galit na meron dito si Jakora. He will be going for another flash pulverize, shut down na Altefor na ang Xin Zhao. Curtain call used, random player fronting down, but the Magnet Storm doesn't have any value of it. Poppy will take down the rail at tumatakbo na nga ang Fervent, but the fight is still ongoing via the all-in of Optimus. Hindi tatama yung third charge ng Entopo strikes, and Poppy now running away. Nomi using the movement speed para sa deadly flourish. Solis now running habang may lupa pa, and what a trade, what an engage from Fervent.
Again, both of these teams just playing at each other's throats na wala namang nagbaback ng full. And of course, when they saw the Kisante, they knew that they didn't have any other peel later on coming into this game, had to back out as of the moment. And good disengage, I'd like to say, from Fervent. Taking that skirmish actually put them up 1k into our network lead, but Poppy now approaching Optimus Princeps.
Solis, eto na yung magandang deadly flourish para talaga hindi siya makakagalaw. Buti na nga lang may Pathmaker pa si Optimus para makapag-soak pa ng damage. Makakatakas pa nga siya. And Fervent's pick off potential, slowly nababawasan na sila ng mga odds dito.
Oo nga, and again, yun na po coming into this game, it's just the mind games that RP are going to be able to keep giving Fervent. Fervent, medyo nagbaback na sila. As you can see the map control, they have been losing a few towers, and that is going to give more, chances for RP to try and take and gain the resources coming out from Fervent's jungle.
Yeah, so hopefully Fervent habang tumatagal makuha nga nila dito yung mga pushing na lanes kasi from what I see, Reapers not really doing a very good job denying some form of waves dito para sa Fervent via forcing of the fights kasi meron naman silang item advantage dito. Inaantay pa talaga nila dito yung magandang diskarte. As long as Reapers push, pumapasok yung minion sa base ng Fervent, that's already good gold income at doon na lang sila umaasa dito because Reapers is just taking over the jungle, both top and bottom side. So now Ataka being prioritized here by Reapers. Dalawa lang sila nandito pero apat ang nakapaligid sa kanila pero meron palang death push na nagaganap para sa Reapers. And Optimus is now already fronting the equalizers, doing some value towards the Atakan, but Reapers will be claiming that. Ninakawan nga nila dito ang Fervent na pagkakataon para makapag-comeback as everyone is just fronting here for Reapers and they're now going to the backline. IDK and IDC now running away. Optimus choosing multiple targets at once. Hindi niya alam kung sino uunahin niya. Poppy now running away and as well as Rocky kasi hinahabol nilang isa't isa. It's now a Tom and Jerry chase. Rocky still hitting para makakuha ng lifesteal, but what a shutdown! Cash out para kay Poppy. Optimus and Narf now crawling pabalik ng kanilang base as Fervent strikes where it hurts the most.
Ayan na po, RP definitely committing a little too much onto the Atakan. They did get it and luckily enough, Atakan has been changed, no? Hindi na siya nagda-drop ng petals kundi automatic nang binibigay sa team. And I thought that could have been an advantage that RP could have utilized to try and take that team fight. But the way Fervent played was just so good. They split the fight up into two. Parang nagbiglaan talaga yung RP dun. They were pretty separated and again the pickoffs coming in for Fervent is something that they needed to help even out the net worth coming into this game as well. Just being able to get that shutdown onto Rocky was very big from Poppy in that middle lane.
Yeah, walang nag-front kay Rocky. Nasaan yung mga kakampi ko? Kampi ko lang sarili ko dun eh. No? Random player got bursted down quickly. Optimus was fighting 3 players. Nawala din na bigla dun yung Xin Xiao. So that was just unfortunate, no? So hopefully a learning experience para dito sa Reapers na wag nilang pabayaan yung carry nga nila dito who's hoarding most of the gold plus the damage here for the side of Reapers as now the final dragon possibility here for Reapers is now looming in the corner. As Fervent can't possibly deny this, no? Lalo't confident na nga sila sa kanilang team fighting dito. Meron pang hubris si Poppy pagdating sa damage, so he could burst anyone here. And here comes Jakora with the Hex Flash as this denying the timing here for a random player at makukuha nga ng Fervent, denying the soul here for Reapers as it looks like Fervent is still fighting habang may puso pa. Lumalaban at lumalaban pa nga rin sila. And here comes the Blast Cone as well para makalapit pa sila ng paunti-unti sa Fervent as Optimus is trying his best para talaga makuha niya yung pwesto dito. And here comes Chaos Storm plus the all-out over to the Victor. Pero nanlambot si Optimus kasi nga nawalan siya ng armor dito. Shutdown once more para sa Fervent. Rocky doing damage. Mawawala yung Rumble panandalian. Here comes Curtain Call. Jakora fronting. But a double for Rocky is just putting on the nail on the coffin of Fervent as the comeback potential just got denied and delayed for a bit. RP fighting.
Oo nga, grabe talaga yung back and forth ng dalawang teams na to. No, di mo talaga nalalaman kung sino ba yung nananalo sa clash na yun. Especially when they're just actually exchanging members coming into this game. And again, a little bit unfortunate from Optimus Princeps din naman. No? Nag-e-engage siya dun, pero wala talaga, nauubos ka agad with the damage that Fervent Esports now have under their belts. And again, that Dragon secure from Poppy, very important. And with the lethality that she has, of course, that Smite Q combo will definitely help them secure those objectives later on.
Yeah, it's very nice para sa Fervent, no, na excuse me. Lalo malaban pa rin si Fervent eh, no? Ito, makakadaan na ako Martin. Puro ka excuse me, no? Pero going back, Fervent, parang okay naman eh. Like lumalaban nga sila, they do have the spacing, they do have the damage, especially like the escape mechanisms kasi may pan-disengage, merong pang-engage. So Fervent just really wants to play the timing right kasi hindi nga nila mahanap yung pwesto kay Rocky, no? Kasi he essentially has 3 frontliners peeling for him at yun na yung natutunan ng Reapers the hard way, no? They just had to lose one team fight para talaga masabi nila, no, na man, we just need to have some good form of defense para dito sa side natin.
Oh, and checking our live as of the moment, no, may nagko-comment talaga na yung blast cone kasi medyo pasabog talaga in the middle of RP yun. May mga members sila na mapupush back doon instead of the chase down. And parang yun yan din yung reason na kung bakit to si Optimus Princeps na iiwan doon in the bot lane clash.
Yeah, masyado na mahalata ngayon no, ang Reapers kasi they're positioning towards the top side at doon naman nakapwesto ang Baron dito. At kung gusto nga nila ng malaking pagkakataon para kumuha ng pick-off, eto na yun eh. Kasi feeling ko tinatapatan din to ng Fervent. Hindi pa natin sure kung may kaya mag-sidelane para sa Fervent para ma-threat dito ang Reapers na mag-respo agad. There's not really much enough DPS here for Fervent to utilize that tactic alone. Si Solis, baka gusto nyo nga ng pick-off dito at yun nga ang mangyayari. Supreme display of talent used, pero what a fade away. Malakobi using the flash para makatakas pa nga siya. Baited out ultimates as RP capitalizes on Baron.
Grabe, alam na agad nila na may mga ultimate na ginamit sa bot. At ayun na po, RP already eyeing their Baron fight here coming into this game. But again, it is gonna be problematic if you're the one who starts Baron because Baron does a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. Crescent Strike ginagamit na nga no, para makapag-negate pa ng damage as Optimus is putting up the attention na mas mahalaga. At yun nga yung mga malalambot. IDK now used the all-out and Jakora doing a lot of work para talaga madelay pero hindi talaga mamamatay siya ng tuluyan dito. And now another double kill para kay Rocky. Nice shattering strike para ma-put down dito si Nomi na nakakatakas mga ambilis mo tumakbo. Grabe ka nga naman, Roadrunner. Nomi na running away as the fight will now disengage but the Baron is still alive. RP favored the bodies instead of the objective.
Grabe, big problem yun, no? Parang split nila. Napatigasan tayo ng tank coming into this game. And of course, Jakuragang, actually, he did his best but did instantly get bursted down while Fervent weren't able to take out anybody from RP in that fight.
Yeah, so what more ang magagawa pa dito ng Fervent kung tignan na nga talaga na mawala tong uod na to. The Reapers get their first major objective of the game as that being the Baron. That's very very huge, no? Kasi nga essentially anyone pwedeng mag-sideline dito, no? Narf is already a huge threat kasi makakapag 3 items na nga siya plus a full stack Dark Seal. May pantakas pa nga siya because of the dissonance. So, you essentially have 4 threats para sa RP na kailangan i-respo kagad ng Fervent but at the cost of their base.
Oo nga, pero sa ngayon, Fervent Esports have one very big problem in their hands in the form of Rocky, no? On this Saya. 914 na yun, pre. Items building up for RP's ADC could be spelling doom coming in from Fervent Esports, especially with the fact na si Jakura lang talaga yung frontline nila, yung magpipil para sa kanila. And it seems as though walang pil na magagawa with Saya already building up all these items.
Yeah, we are now reaching the 30-minute mark and one team fight could seal the fate of any other team here as papasok na nga si Jakura dito to get that effort para mawala ang isang miyembro dito. Unbreakable will already use pero namang naganap na follow-up. It's just too much. Naiwan ako dito. Nomi gets exhausted. Sure pa sa sigurado na mawawala ang Jin dito as Optimus Princeps gets the double fumble in the making here for Fervent as they tried. Pero yun ang mali nila. They just tried.
They have the Baron as well. RP can definitely try and look for an inhib here, but it seems as though the minions are going to be able to be bursted down. Pero wala, kuha pa din. And it seems as though the zone is just too strong for Fervent Esports to try and do anything here. Again, the wave management, not probably the best as of the moment kasi wala namang makukuha ang iba, yung RP, aside from that middle lane inhibitor. But that's big enough coming into the 30-minute mark.
And this is now already soul para sa RP. Binigyan tayo ng pag-asa ng Fervent na anything is possible, sabi nga ni Big Ticket. Pero Fervent, after 2 team fights that they had multiple efforts para ma-take down yung mga high priority targets, that being Narf and Rocky, the spacing is just too good, no? The items are already being closed out here by RP na para habang tumatagal, mas lalo pang maging insured yung mga buhay nila dito, no? With Rocky closing out here, the Guardian Angel plus Narf na nakabuo na nga ng Zhonya's Mea din kasi nakita ko yung Seeker's Arm Guard, nabuo niya na eh, no? So that's really really huge, lalo't malakas ang engage ng Fervent.
Oo, at kung nakita mo lang talaga yung synergy na nandito yung RP, no? Grabe talaga yung push nila. Kahit na dinedepensaan nila si Rocky, a few of their other members were also going for Fervent Esports backline. And that's something that, you know, can definitely catch you off guard. Lalo nang inakala nyo, kayo yung nasa offensive. Ay ano pala, nagde-defend na kayo dapat.
Yeah, so very simple mind here, no? By RP. Kasi kung ano yung makita nila, ilalaban na lang nila yun, no? This is essentially Fervent not forcing anything. Kung meron man, baka may maisip silang pagbabago dito. Probably a bait play Death Bush
Could be.
incoming. Is it really a Death Bush? That's a huge supreme display of talent. Pero mas magandang counter-engage ng RP via the Magnet Storm. Curtain Call from a mile away. Sinasalot to
great
lahat
shots.
ni random player. Hindi pala bunatan. Wala kang premyo dyan, bossing. RP just tanked a lot of damage. Just kinanvas lang ng Fervent kung anong klaseng bawas yung meron sila eh.
Grabe na yung sustain coming in from RP, and it doesn't seem like Fervent Esports damage has matched up in this late game. Parang feel lang talaga yung RP coming into this game.
Yeah, so scary scenes para sa RP, no? Lalo na na meron silang control sa kahit sa mong angulo tignan, Martin. Everything is strong here for RP. Items, damage, spacing, prowess, team fighting, lahat yan may check at marka. Oh my goodness, RP. Inaantay na lang talaga nila yung timing dito, no? Formalities na lang yung objective, RP.
Oo, buti na lang wala na yung Baron. Will definitely not be able to help RP coming into this game, but Fervent again holding on to this bottom lane.
Last ditch effort. Nice pulverize to get the backline. Pero wala namang magandang follow-up ang Fervent dito. Wala na silang nakikitang objectives, just bodies and pure chaos. Optimus matatamaan ng torre dito, and that's a huge money on the bank of IDK. Lumalaban si Rocky. That's a nice Feather Storm plus a Blade Caller. But Poppy got the kill. Shutdowns all over for Fervent. Tumatakbo na nga sila, and here comes a combo from Narf and as well as random player Nomi now hitting the target. Dancing grenade, pero makakapag-flash out pa dito si Narf, and there goes the root from the deadly flourish. Fervent Esports struck the back of Reapers. Nagulat ang mga tao sa mga nangyari.
They're still in the game. RP lose 4. Fervent Esports can definitely make the time off of these respawn timers, no, to try and gain back the vast majority of the map that they lost. And that's very, very important to get those shutdowns as well. As you can see, the net worth lead already at a 5k deficit instead of a higher one from previous in the game. And again, coming into 30 minutes into the game, Fervent Esports have already gained the vast majority of the items that they need. Paring salve coming into this game. We'll see though, because as of the moment, looking at the map, there are a lot of towers standing in between Fervent Esports and RP's base.
Parang Martin, kailangan pa natin makita ng isa pang objective para sa Reapers para makuha yung base ng Fervent no? Kasi ang lakas ng laban hindi ko alam kung saan nagkulang yung Reapers doon. Probably the spacing, kasi ang daming tinangke doon ni Optimus Princeps para mag-iba yung aggro doon ng tower. I feel like that was such an overzealous engage here from Reapers. Na it really dealt a lot of damage from their HP bars, knowing na buhay pa yung tower dun. And the all-out really didn't have any value kasi wala naman silang nakuha nga maganda dun. Lumambot lang talaga ng tuluyan yung top laner nila na dapat talaga makunat para makakontra ng tower eh.
That's right, and Fervent Esports actually playing the spacing perfect there, making the fight a 5v3 later on, especially with the Shinzao and Optimus Princeps on this Kesante going down on towards that bottom side. But again, RP trying to re-establish their dominance here in the top lane and trying to wait it out and see whether or not Fervent is gonna make another mistake.
Optimus now eyeing for the top side tower, but from what I'm seeing looming dito sa may jungle, gusto ng Fervent ng laban, suntukan, rekta sa muka. Inaantay lang natin yung headbutt pulverize dito para kay Jakura para magkaalaman ng sino ang mas angat, sino ang mas pogi. Fervent, umaaura pa ng onte. They do have the poke. Malakas yung Victor nila, pre. Trust in your Victor. As RP now eyes for possible Baron. Hindi to sure para sa Reapers. Pwede pang i-100-0 pa to ng Fervent.
Oo nga, yung nonchalant Victor nyo, bigyan nyo ng trust din naman paminsan-minsan, 'di ba? Yung damage na nanggaling, especially coming into 35 minutes of this game. It is gonna be very important for these teams to try and outscale each other in terms of damage. But as of the moment, RP, as you mentioned, probably the last objective that they need, no? And I don't think Fervent Esports has any idea, as there is gonna be a check here, but the smite is free.
Ito-trade nila yung Dragon para sa Baron. Not sure kung okay yun para sa Fervent, pero any objective is good objective, ika nga. At makukuha nga dito ng Fervent yung Mountain Drake, at mas lalo nang kukunat dito yung mga members ng Fervent. Pero ang mahalaga dito para sa Reapers yung range dahil may Baron empowered minion sila, madali sila makakuha ng objective, plus may amplification pa sila ng team fighting.
Oo nga, Fervent Esports stand to lose 2 more inhibitors into this game kung gusto talaga magpa-play safe tong RP. But again, I'm not entirely sure about that entire trade, no, coming into this game, but we'll see whether or not Fervent Esports are gonna try and make the most out of that Mountain Drake.
Okay. See, RP just spacing, everything here na binabato sa kanila ng Fervent. Inahablot lang talaga ng Fervent yung pagkakataon dito ng RP para manalo, no? And we like those odds, we like those chances. Hopefully, Fervent, meron pa kayong laban sa puso nyo dyan. Kahit nga talaga nangiibabaw yung kulay ube dito para sa RP kasi nga meron silang Baron empowered minions dito. Kaya pa ng Fervent, iwala lang talaga. But from what we're seeing, no, medyo mahirap na maging UP Mystic. Purong objectives lang ang kinukuha ng Reapers dito to ease up the team fighting. Parang wala na tayong iisipin pang objective.
Oo, pero yung tanong talaga, parang Salve, is kailan kaya susuko tong FPE? Already
Okay.
engaged as well. Could they be having their last stand dito sa bottom lane?
Teka lang, antayan lang muna panandalian dito kasi any team fight could turn this around, no? Panibagong kwento nga ba ang makikita natin na kung una talaga RP has been taking over the map. There is still some possible sight here for Fervent to take over that storyline. Jakora na, here comes the engage plus the red carpet. Nilatag na nga, pero inuuna ni random player yung backside dito at makukuha nga nila yung access doon. Napakadali lang para si Xin Chao makuha yung ADC. And Poppy doing some damage on the backline as Solis gets the rel. But the damage is just too good para sa Reapers at inuubos nga nila yung mga miyembro ng Fervent Esports. Rocky doing damage over to IDK and IDC. Death Ray used, pero napakalakas ng spacing dito as a triple kill secured for Reapers. And here comes the last rites para sa Fervent. Reapers gets the first game in dominating fashion.
That's right, and because this is a single elimination, it seems as though we're gonna have to say goodbye to Fervent Esports. And as you mentioned, no, such an amazing game. And again, the comeback history, the comeback potential, and the underdog stories are what we love to see here at Liga Republika. And again, it was an amazing underdog story indeed.
Hindi ako kung maalala ko, this is PHX eh. Parang nagre-brand lang sila to Reapers. It's just really nice, no, para sa Reapers na kala nyo makakalimutan namin kayo. Alam ko yung pangalan na Rocky na yan. Alam mo kung bakit? Martin? Player namin yan sa university. Kilala kita, boss. PHX ka dati. Tapos nag-rebrand lang kayo sa Reapers. So parang dahil nga nakita na natin yung familiarity ng mga pangalan nila, no, Martin, nagkabaliktad na yung kwento natin. Hindi pala sila underdog. Mga experience pala yung mga taong yan, pre, no?
Kilala mo pala ha, sa galaw pa lang. Uy, parang Shata to ah.
Sabi ko,
magaling.
Parang inaatay ko lang yung timing para sabihin ko yung linya. Kasi nagdadalawang isip, siya pa talaga to? Parang okay, nakita ko na nga yung pangalan talaga. Sure na ako.
Oo nga, pero again, an amazing game, no? From both of these teams still. Fervent Esports definitely were faring well, I'd like to say, no, against the matchup. Nakikita naman natin yung disparity in the champion picks that they had. We waited to see whether or not there was something special coming from Fervent Esports. But again, Reapers just showing dominance kahit nang no early game pa lang nagsimula up until the end of the game. As you can see here, the towers just absolutely, and again, just the vast majority of yung map control na meron yung Reapers coming into that game definitely contributed to their victory.
Look at the overall difference dito ng Reapers and as well as Fervent when it comes to kills, plus the objective na nga nakuha nila, no, malaking bagay na nakuha nila yung atakan during the mid to late game. That amplified every sort of damage na binabato dito ni Rocky, no. The spacing was just too nice. Yung shockwave dito ni Narf was also huge, no, na every time may makikita kang magda-dash in dito dun sa milyong dash na meron ng Kisante at sa isang dash na meron ng Xin Chao, of course there is going to be a shockwave, no. So every team fight that Reapers did, they absolutely won it in a landslide. Drafting phase pa lang natin sinabi, Martin.
Oo nga, and it is gonna be a little bit unfortunate for Fervent Esports to have to say goodbye, but again, very looking forward to a lot of games that Reaper have yet to happen under the belt. Again, ladies and gentlemen, first game pa lang natin to for this Sunday. We are gonna be having a lot of other games later on, so of course, stay tuned, like and share the stream, tawagin nyo na yung mga kaibigan nyo.
Yeah, so a lot of actions pa ang nakabantay dito na meron pa tayong dalawang best of one mga bossing, no? At mayat nga makikita nyo na nga ang ating Reapers montage as the highlights is now seen here in front of our faces, no. Ito yung unang pako no. Nakita ko na may laban si Fervent, malakas sila mag-pick off, no. Pero hindi ko lang sure kasi kung hanggang sa naaabot yung term na pick off para sa kanila, kasi after nung first blood na yun, wala na nag-snowball sa kanila eh. Purong Reapers na lang nakikita natin sa kill feed eh.
But again, you have to talk a little bit about tong Orianna, pre. Because yung nagsusummon area yan eh. And not only that, but 18k damage already being done plus the support capability. Natatakot talaga yung Fervent esports na pumasok doon. Especially the chase down potential coming in from Reapers with the protect plus dissonance extra move speed na yun. Ha? Sa move speed na meron na talaga yung Reapers.
Yeah, so everything that Reapers has in engaging, tsaka yung pagluluto pa lang kung paano papasok yung Kesante, nandun na talaga yun, nakalatag na talaga in broad daylight kung paano nga nila didiskartehan yun eh. Maganda for Reapers na every sort of util is nagko-complement sa isa't isa. Pag pumasok ang Kesante, matik may shockwave yan. Pag nag-feather storm si Rocky, matik meron talagang naka-group up kagad from the magnet storm. So it's just Reapers drafting one of the most amazing comps we've seen dito lamang sa Liga Republika. At yan naman talaga dapat ang ginagawa ng mga taong lumilikha ng kanilang alamat.
Oo nga, masyadong binigay na din sa drafting phase pa lang ng Fervent esports, no? Kasi they could have had the rel. They could have taken the rel for themselves. Kaso, wala, di nila kinuha.
Pinatagal nila eh, no?
Oo, tapos kinuha pa nila yung Kiana as a third pick. And again, a lot of other more important, if I'm not mistaken, coming into this game that you could have definitely locked in for your team para sa advantage naman in the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, that was just an amazing sight, no? I kinda enjoy what I saw. Sana pa nga talaga no, sa ating second game, ganun din kaangat ang action dito. Summoners, kung na-enjoy nyo pa yung laban na yon, what more pa kaya sa mga susunod na makikita nyo dito lamang sa Liga Republika. It's very very nice to see that the competition is still way up there for the road to Summoners Cup and as well as LCP. Pero magbabalik mamaya ang action dito lamang sa Liga Republika. Ako nga pala si Salvatore, siya nga pala si Dumpster Fire. Magbabalik kami after the short break. Welcome back, Pilipinas! Kayo pa rin ay nakatutok sa Day 3 ng Qualifiers of Liga
sir.
Republika, the road to the Summoners Cup. Ako pala si Salvatore, siya pa rin si Dumpster Fire na makakasama nyo sa araw na to para sa mga susunod panlaban. And we have one heck of a match, Dumpster Fire. If there's anything about collegiate League of Legends na makakaalam, that's you.
That's right. That is gonna be MKL talaga. Going up against Inferno Esports. And for you guys that missed it, in our previous match, we had Reapers going up against Fervent Esports. Now, of course, a very convincing, dominant win coming in from Reapers. But again, on to our second match of this Sunday. And hope you guys are just chilling there no, at home. Please like and share the stream and tell your friends as well that we are here at Liga Republika.
Yeah, so use the hashtag road to LCP wildcard playoffs. No, that's also huge if you want the most traction out of your post. And it's very, very important that we want to reach out to everyone. Kung nasaan man kayo, let us know in the comments right now in this stream to give you a huge shout out if you want. No, so we will be kindly taking those shout outs lightly. No, so kung wag kayo mahiya, magsabi lang kayo dyan sa comments na makahinain nyo sa buhay nyo. No, at sa mga karapat dapat na makakapasok sa ating playoffs at slowly makakapag-ascend sila towards the title of champion, sila lang naman na makakuha ng lion share ng 860,000 pesos of a prize pool. Kayo ba guys, anong gagawin nyo sa prize pool na yan? Let us know in the comments.
Diba? Of course, nag-uusap na kami dati no na ibibigay lang namin yun sa League community pag kami pa yung nananalo.
Sa
But again, sa inyo na yun guys. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, again, that is just a very, very small side benefit. Small, grabe maka-small, no? Sa 860,000, small
Grabe,
again. But again,
small ba yun para sa'yo? Ano, Martin?
Ay, hindi. Malaking side benefit. Kasi yung importante din naman talaga is for us to be able to represent our country, which I'm sure all of the teams coming into Liga Republika are looking forward to doing naman, parang Salve. No, of course, we still have LCP, and of course, if they do perform there well, as if they do, perform at their best there, parang sana naman may makikita tayong PH team sa Worlds.
Yeah, so makikita mo, no? Worlds play-ins, insert Filipino team here. Sure na ako dyan, pre. Pre, sure na tayo dyan na kabayas natin yung mga Filipino teams na yan. So we'll be rooting you guys for your eventual journey papuntang Summoners Cup. No? Kasi imagine mo, no, pre, nasa stage ka. Share mo yung entablado kasama si Faker kasi kayo yung nasa grand finals. What a story!
Grabe yun. Hinahandshake tayo. Pa-appear lang kay Faker, no? Ganun. Pare ng pang-vlog, men.
Parang parang dati lang ini-imagine mo yung ganung bagay, pero because of your sheer hard work and dedication, kasi nga sobrang galing mo mag League of Legends sa Philippines, and not just that, sa Pacific area pa, pre, pwede kang maglaro sa World Champion sa 2025 Worlds, no? So, that's very nice to see.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, pasok na tayo sa ating draft phase. And again, we have to point out a very, very interesting statistic.
Okay.
And in the third day or after the first few 2 days, no, yung win rate ng blue side napakalaki in comparison to the red. There's a 76% win rate for the blue side. So nung first day mas malaki pa yun. It was actually 84%. So again, the blue side to dominate, no, and Reapers won pa, which were on the blue side in the previous game.
Paano to? Ano, Martin? Nasa blue side ng MKL, no? Sarang nakakita na ba tayo ng eventual winners, no? Pero anything can happen, sabi nga nila dito in show business. So makakabawi pa dito ang Inferno para talaga mas umangat pa yung numero na yun. Kasi ayaw na ayaw ko pre makita yung 26% na yun. Dapat 50-50 lang. That's a balance as all things should be. So ban so far for Inferno Esports targeting towards the support line. Pero grabe pre, yung respeto nila sa Bard ng MKL, parang ganun talaga kataas.
Oo nga. And again, there is gonna be a lot of jungle bans coming in here from MKL. The Lee Sin and the Viego already thrown off the map. Di na maaaring mapipick yun. The Poppy as well, very, very good, solid front line, as well as Hold CC coming from MKL, just thrown out the game. IE will respond in kind with a ban onto a Pantheon as well, which again, will probably tell us a little bit about their picks. So what do you think, Salve?
Okay, so Wukong prioritizing here for MKL. Usually kasi pinipili mo na yung Wukong pag may hard tank kagad sa kalaban no? Like an Ornn or even a Sion.
Oo.
Pero MKL, I feel like they have this confidence na kahit anong piliin ng Inferno, babagay pa rin ang Wukong sa kanilang comp, no? So far, dahil nga open ang Varus, isa sa mga pinakamalakas na ADCs na meron tayo ngayon alongside Kai'Sa and Jhin, that will be a strong pick here for Inferno Esports. At tama lang naman na ibigay nila ang Rel dito or even the Brom para mas lumakas pa yung chances dito na masustain pa ang Varus kasi mahalaga yan sa teamfights eh.
Oo nga, yung Chain of Corruption as well, a very, very heavy, strong utility. That's, available as soon as you get it up until the end of the game, no? Parang pagka-importante talaga kami from Varus. And Varus is very, very well-rounded. May slow na yun, may damage from his autos as well as that piercing arrow could definitely do range and poking from a distance. So a very, very good pick up early on here from IE.
So may pinipili dito ang MKL para ma-cut down yung Inferno Esports pick dito of the Varus kasi malaking bagay dito na may Alistar sila at Wukong pang-access kagad ng backline yan no? So merong decoy si Wukong, the headbutt pulverize, tas meron mga unbreakable will, napaka huge niyan for MKL. But the Sylas pick, oh man, that's just gonna put a lot of threats here for MKL kasi nga ang dami niyang pwedeng i-hijack dito no? Pre, dun pa lang sa Cyclone, malaking pang-engage na yan para sa Inferno.
Oo, very, very good pick up here coming from IE as well. And that's gonna be turning MKL talaga high strengths against them, no? Yung Cyclone na sinasabi mo, of course, something very, very important. It will definitely just change the whole pretty much the intensity coming in from MKL talaga, especially when you get knocked up twice that you're available coming in from IE.
Yeah, so here comes the next banning phase na feeling ko may tinatarget ang Inferno Esports dito no, and that's less of a utility from the mid side kasi of because of the Talia ban. And feeling ko pa rin naman MKL still has the opportunity to pick something of a good engaged mid laner, probably a Ryze, Victor or even a Orianna. Actually maganda yung Orianna dito, pero habang mas tumatagal yung draft dito parang mas giniginhawaan dito ang Inferno Esports kasi binibigyan niya na ng pagkakataon dito yung Sylas para mas lumaki pa yung chances niya na maging malaki yung bilang sa team fights no. So the moment that Inferno Esports does prolong the draft, feeling ko mapapa-adjust ang MKL sa magiging initial comp nga nila no kasi ang high target nila dito is the Varus eh.
Yeah, and this is something that I was expecting coming in from Inferno Esports. No? Nagpipick talaga sila ng Brom because as of the moment, the way it looks to me is MKL is going for a heavy dive. Nagmumukhang heavy dive yung kanilang lineup so far.
Okay, so top laner na lang ay natin para sa Inferno no. Kung Sion yan, dapat lang naman na maging Ornn to para sa Inferno Esports or probably even a Rumble. Pwede rin actually no, malakas to para sa Inferno Esports kung gusto pa nila dagdagan pa yung magiging overall DPS nila. But MKL instead of the Orianna will be partaking the Ryze in this one. So spacing and global presence, MKL nasa kanila na.
Oo nga, and now we're gonna be waiting for, again, as you mentioned, the final pick coming in from Inferno Esports before we cement the champions that we're gonna be playing with in the second game. And again, actually both of these teams have already won their first games. They've already eliminated someone, and there it is, the Aatrox picked up here by Inferno Esports.
Yeah, so very strange draft here for Inferno Esports. Pero you got to commend na kahit papano may kalakasan pa nga rin naman during the dragon fights kasi they do have a lot of circular abilities when it comes to AoE that could derail MKL's positioning no kasi malaking factor dito na meron silang 3 layers na pwedeng gamitin para dun sa ADC nila bilang pantangke kasi nga Jhin though mobile wala naman talagang inherited dashes para bilang panaka. So kailangan pa natin mahanap yung scaling para sa player na to para talaga makita nating magmalaw Usain Bolt tong si Jhin. Pero for Inferno Esports, they do have a lot of strong disengage from Chains of Corruption and Unbreakable plus a pick of opportunity mula dun sa Sylas no. Malaking champion yan when it comes to picking kasi nga ang you have 2 dashes essentially no and the ulti na pwede niyang makuha just from the Sion or even the Wukong already huge for them.
Oo nga, even the Alistar is even a possible hijack coming in, especially if you want that extra tankiness and the anti-CC. But coming into this game, we have to look at as well as to what MKL decided to last pick, which is going to be this Rise. No, they're just adding more DPS on towards their lineup, which I feel like they're going to need if they want to match up against a late game Varus, should it ever come to it. But again, MKL definitely not wanting to deal with the vast majority of the capability that is in Inferno Esports hands in the late game, especially with this Varus pick that they were able to lock in for their first pick.
Parang ito pa lang ata yung draft na meron, Martin, na I can't really point my finger like which one is a stronger draft kasi Inferno Esports, though they do have strong damages, feeling ko mag-on hit pa rin tong Varus natin, no, to capitalize any opportunity na kung sakaling mag-build ng armor ng malakas o tong Wukong or even the Sion, hindi pa naman ganun ka-threatening kasi damage items here for the ADCs have been quite strong in the recent patches, no? At hopefully nga yung magiging route dito ng Varus kasi any point of DPS nasa kanya pa lang nakatungo, no? Wala nang iba, no? From the Sylas, from the Xin Shao, medyo mabagal actually, but it is indeed reliable. But comparing it to the other side, feeling ko ang usapan lang talaga doon is how much damage can we peel with a strong amount of outputs na meron ang Inferno Esports. So it's a good balance of a matchup, no?
That's right. But of course, when you have a Sylas na kasi in the game, parang Salvi, that's when it kind of gets a little bit confusing, right? Because it depends. You can't really picture out a team fight kasi di mo naman alam kung sino i-hijack ng Sylas na yun. And of course, coming into this game, I feel like anti-heal is something that MKL are going to have to prioritize, especially with a lot of healers coming in from the side of IE. They have an Aatrox, they have a Xin Zhao with who will probably most probably build a Sundered Sky and a Sylas as well, of all things. No, so grabe talaga yung healing for the side of IE.
This is going to be really, really interesting, no? A tale of a story where one team is from the collegiate side and whereas Inferno Esports have been dealing with some form of competition, whether it would be amateur or professional, for quite some time now, no? So two opposites might attract, pero one will come out on top, no, eventually. So the drafting says, the drafting breeds collegiate, no? Because of the Sion and the Wukong. So malakas na antas to para sa side ng MKL to think na baka pocket picks lang talaga nila to, no, kasi a priority on the Wukong is not something that you would see that often kasi nga ginagamit na lang siya bilang second layer of counter pick or they just want to deny the armor shredding of Inferno Esports. But etong Sion na to, pre, baka shoutout nyo ba si Dabaws from Los Ratones? I would like to see some kind of action just like that.
Yan po. Yung tanong, paring Salvatore, in the comment section may nagtatanong, pwede ba raw mag-emote dito?
Naku naman. Pwede, basta ikaw, Boss Steve Anolin, di ba? Pwede, basta ikaw. Walang pinagbabawal na emote dito. Lahat pwede yan. Kahit anong hulma, anong itsura pa yan. Basta ikaw nag-emote, pwede yan.
Ano yung paborito mong emote, paring Salvatore?
Yung alam mo yung Kiana na may yung Kiana na emote, pre. Yung may rank. Yung favorite
yung tumatawa,
pre. Kasi
yung
nakita ko ano yung rank. Yung tumatawa. Kasi kita yung rank nun eh.
Oo.
Maganda yun eh.
Yung favorite ko na emote, yung Kesante. Diba? Kikita mo ba yun?
Ayun na nga. Nakikita mo ba
yung pinataas niya lang yung...
yung Inferno Esports. From Kyo Esports, nandito na siya.
Yun.
Austerity! Oh my goodness. Representing all po nga din eh, no? So, isa rin siya sa mga players ng All Esports QC pero now, nagko-compete din siya amateur/professionally. So, Austerity, welcome back to the Summoner's Rift.
Ayan na po. The name, no, of this Braum actually very, 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 very well placed. Not today, bra. Ayan na po. Mag-shield lang yun.
Yeah. So, parang maganda ang pwesto dito actually, no, ng MKL. I feel like they're anticipating a possible invade. So hindi mo na pumupwesto ng spacing for early damage dito si Dylan Harper. So born this way, walking up. So I wonder if this is Inferno Esports na mga nagtatago na Kyo Esports nga naman talaga or si Austerity lumipat lang ng team. So please correct me if I'm wrong kung may mga nakakaalaman dyan kung ano nga ba si Inferno Esports. Kasi hindi po namin natatrack pag nagpapalit po sila ng IGN eh.
Oo nga, wala kami doon. Wala kaming personal information na hiningi namin mga players. Basta yung in-game name nila, yun na yun. And of course, Vision, again, still going to be the name of the game as of any other game, especially. The ward in the bottom side from IE actually shown.
Oh, look at the blue side. Tingnan mo, nag-walk up dito si 1JW, pero essentially a 1v2, so hindi ko sure kung okay na pwesto yan.
Nagpo-poke lang, hi hello lang, di ba? Yung greetings lang for this early game, di ba? Tayo naman yung magkasama dito sa top lane for a while, you know? Best to acquaint yourselves.
Yeah, matagal silang magiging magkatawang dyan sa top lane. Parang palo ang degulay lang yan eh. Kasi there's not really much damage for the Sion. Oo, malakas mag-trade si 1JW because of the healing that he gets from the Umbral Dash. Not really sure like how the fight will break out eventually. Malakas nga yung armor shred ng MKL sa una because of Roar of the Slayer. Pero hanggang doon na lang yun no? Like, possibly top lane might just be a poke battle.
That's right. A lot of movement coming in from both of these teams so far, no? Again, just chilling out, just pretty much clearing out the resources, especially from our jungler side. None of them taking a early recall, actually. Both with a very, very calm lane, pretty much. Just the same amount of clear, I think, for both of these teams, unlike earlier that we saw with the Kiana early recall. But again, both of these teams, and again, we were able to see here on the bottom side, no? You can already see IE being a little bit more aggressive. And we saw this with Fervent esports as well in that previous game. It's gonna be an engage here. A little bit from Born this way. Decides to back out lang. At yan na po, Carcel actually already getting engaged here from IE Born this way. Walking a little bit toward this bottom side. Pero yan na, nagbaback lang muna yung ating MKL Talaghay. Both of these teams not wanting to do anything crazy as of the moment. They want to try and back it out. But we'll see whether or not there is gonna be enough coming into this game. Mads already in the flash in as well. The root isn't gonna be enough. There is gonna be a knock-up onto him. Could this be first blood? It will be, as the Silas will be able to claim Mads' life, IE, with the first kill of the game. At yan na po. We are going to be able to wait it out. And again, this is the kind of rotations na kailangan ng mga team natin para makalamang early on into this game. We'll see whether or not both of these teams are going to be able to respond to each other. And again, League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen, parang sayaw lang to eh. It seems like a dance, just being able to move back and forth, knowing where your enemy is. Parang where they step their foot in. Pero unlike most dances, you aim to step on your enemy's foot. And again, big pokes coming in from IE on this bottom side. Movement now happening because our champions have reached the 3rd level, have most of their abilities already up and ready. And this is going to be what solidifies this early game, especially. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other comments, no, or gusto nyo lang iba, ano po, pwede bang mag-emote dyan? Yung mga tanong nyo, please comment down in the comment section. Like and share the stream as well. Tell your friends on this chill Sunday to just watch some Liga Republika. Again, this is day 3 of our qualifiers, and we're very, very happy to share this viewing experience with you, no? Again, here on the bottom side, just a lot of aggressiveness coming from Austerity and not today, bro. Walking up, absolutely denying these minions from MKL Talaghay. Still Waters now, having to wait it out with a little bit of a creep score lead from this Varus. Here comes the shield from Not Today, bro, allowing this kind of aggressiveness to happen. The roots, and look at the HP already. Very, very problematic now for MKL, especially with the fact that their jungler is actually here towards the top side. Dragon already available for both of these teams. We'll see whether or not there is going to be anything happening so far. Again, on the bottom side, looking to claim a few playthings here, as Still Waters definitely not in good resolve here and vitality to try and stop this aggressiveness. And that is the strength of the piercing arrows, ladies and gentlemen. The Braum, of course, especially, is too strong against the Jhin. And Engage already here as well. Mads will get the root up against Aqua Regia. Decides to stop the Engage coming in from Born this way, who decided to visit the middle lane. And again, eyeing this dragon right now. Meanwhile, on the top side, there is already a level lead from this Aatrox. Not uncommon, a very, very strong top laner up against this Sion. And again, it seems as though IE will start this dragon, have control of the bottom side thanks to their duo of the Varus and the Braum. And it seems as though Karshal is trying to gain a little bit more vision, but it's too late, as Wukong still deciding to just give up that dragon, actually, come into this game.
So, welcome back, Salvatore. I'm sorry
Ayun
for
na,
that
ayun na.
slight
Here you are.
mishap, no? Pero ito na, back to the ball game na tayo, Martin. I'm sorry for you catching up that real long, pero ito na, pre, may katawan ka
Okay
na sa
na,
buhay.
okay na. Namimiss kita, men. Namimiss
Oh,
kita, men.
man, buti ka pa. Namiss mo ako.
Oh, ayun
Like,
na, oh.
grabe, namiss mo ako. Parang kanina lang tayo nagkakilala.
Tayo na po.
Pero yun,
So yeah, first
slightly-
blood was claimed. You didn't
Yeah,
miss
slightly
much.
catching up, no? Slightly catching up. I feel like Inferno, of course, it's really warranted na makuha nga nila yung first blood dun. Just because they have good all-in. Sayang, kung tumama yung Roar of the Slayer dun, wala sa Sion. Feeling ko magandang all-in na yun eh.
Yun na po. And again, actually this bottom lane has been very dominant, Salve. Again, just the piercing arrows being able to do so much, and just how strong Braum is against the Jhin, and the poke that the Jhin can do coming into this game will definitely seal the bottom lane's fate for MKL unless they're able to make any important rotations coming into this game.
Yeah, so very nice positioning already here for MKL for I think what could be a very good gank here in the mid lane. Kasi nga, essentially this lane swap could put a lot of space here for MKL. Lalo malakas din naman talaga mag-roam dito si Carciel. So feeling ko kung doon sila umaasa, malakas naman yung pasok ng MKL. Just not force anything out of Aqua Regia just yet. Malakas yung presensya ng hijack niya. It's one thing that MKL should respect and be scared of at least. Yung onting angas lang kumbaga, but not so much. So I think this lane swap was so warranted to the point na kailangan ngayon bumawi rather ng Inferno Esports kasi they are now overtaking this Void Grubs very quickly like that because of captive audience. Pero nandito si Not Today na wala pang Glacial Fissure, but the spacing and the threat is just too huge. Pumapasok na nga si Angel Cheon dito gamit ang Nimbus.
Uy,
Like,
yan na
here
po.
comes the teleport.
Austerity.
Unstoppable Onslaught paparating na sa LRT station tong dalawang to. Pero in-hijack niya rin yung Unstoppable Onslaught to get a two-man stun. Aqua Regia was so huge as the engage is just
Mads.
very nice mula dito sa Inferno Esports as MKL is just melting towards the face of the earth. When becomes lightning flush, Audacious charge para makalapit sa Born This Way, para makasama siya sa party. And Inferno Esports got 4.
That's right, a little unfortunate now. 0-5 on the scoreboard, IE leading by 3k in gold. Not the best position MKL want to be. They want to be able to try and stop IE's snowball potential heal, especially in the form of Avarus, who already is up by 2 kills. Again, something very important that you're gonna be able to have to look towards in this game. Jhin, already with the serrated Dirk, trying to gain farm from every aspect of the map. At this point, 9 minutes into the game, tong Jhin na to, nakalamang na sa, the vast majority of the map. He was already in top, in bot, and na yun, nasa mid na siya.
Parang ngayon lang nagsisink in sa akin na Inferno Esports really hid their potential here in this gameplay itself. Kasi I really thought na it was supposed to be a scaling comp and not force anything. Like, magre-respond sila dun sa mga laban na gagawin ng MKL eventually because it is a team that that is most likely going to force anything, no? But Inferno Esports proved me wrong, no? Like, if they want to fight, they will. Kahit kulang-kulangan sila ng mga abilities dito, and that was not today without any Glacial Fissure. Pero umasa si Aqua Regia dito na, sige pre, kukunin ko muna yung trend dito ni Dylan Harper. Tapos nagulat ako pre, mas may value pa yung kinuha niyang Unstoppable Onslaught kaysa sa ginawa ni Dylan Harper. So Inferno Esports, nice read off the map talaga.
Oo nga, the train coming in from Dylan Harper actually landing onto Not Today, bra. Tapos wala namang follow-up na nagaganap dun. So of course, again, yeah, as you said, this is very important for Aqua Regia sa hijack niya, no? If you get more out of that ultimate that you stole, it is going to be very good for your team.
And also imagine kung makuha ni Aqua Regia dito yung Realm Warp, which could put IE in a very good spot kasi they have good amount of sustain. Meron silang unbreakable. Marami silang masusok na damage pagkabagsak nila ng Realm Warp. World Ender could also deal some form of tankiness para dito sa IE, no? Inaantay pa natin yung pagkakataon na yun na nag-decoy na nga pero nagulat na lang si Rehia. Meron na nga palang 3 kalaban na nasa harapan niya. Mas malakas ang 3 kesa sa isa pre. Shutdown. Nasa kamay na nga ni Mads pero Born This Way medyo late ata sa party pero kaya niya nga balinisin dito yung ginawang karamihan dito ni Aqua Regia. Born This Way still alive pero yung 4th shot, oh no, sa sala, Still Waters, medyo paling pakaliwa pa, sayang.
Munti ka na ngayon. Yung curtain call was a little bit more of, parang ano lang yun insurance para sa kanila. But because Born This Way decided to try and get a fight there, sayang lang talaga, parang nagmi-miss talaga yung mga abilities niya coming into that fight. Wasn't able to make the vast majority of his kit utilized coming into that fight. So ayan na po, wala na ring maka-comeback kill yung IE dun.
Yes, Still Waters could have gotten that gold really nicely. Malaking bagay yun kasi 2 kills na dito si Austerity, no? At isa sa mga dapat kaabangan.
Oo nga, and he does definitely need the gold, especially with this Varus already ramping up nearly almost ahead of 220 CS actually coming into this game. But again, yung Dragon already being secured here from IE. They have the means to do it as well. Look at the aggressiveness coming on towards this bottom side. Wala na nakikita ng Dragon yung MKL talaga eh.
Ito, little known Pac Martin, no? Baka gusto mo ng fact of the day, no? Sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam dyan, si Austerity dati naglalaro sa WP Academy yan, and he was not playing ADC, no? He was not dominating the ranks on the bottom lane. He was actually playing jungle, no? And one of his picks was actually Lee Sin. Tas nagulat ako nung pumasok siya sa Guardian's Hive. Like, this man apparently swapped lanes with another lane swapper, no? So that was something really nice to see kasi Austerity really dominated the challenger ranks during the time na malakas ang jungle. Pero nalipat na sa bottom lane si Austerity, so feeling ko kung ano yung meta talaga na role doon siya pumupunta, no?
That's right, and that's gonna be very, very important as a league player, no? Because when you do acquaint yourselves at a high level play sa iba't ibang mga role dito sa Summoner's Rift, then you know more about the game. Alam mo na kung anong nangyayari. Dito nagsa-start yung jungler nila, parang maaaring magiging gank to dito at level 2. You know, these kinds of information is going to be very, very important at all aspects of the game, especially nung ADC ka na ngayon where you have to be very safe kasi your team is relying on you to carry in the late game.
Yeah, so Inferno Esports, I feel like they have a ample amount of control to force anything, you know, because they literally have the strength. And what a hex slash by Carciel. At nakakita ka na ba ng Austerity na corner? Nice chains of corruption! Huge for Austerity! Pero makakapag-flash out pa ka siya. Pero nice rune prison mula dito kay Mads. Buhay na buhay pa rin ang ADC ng Inferno Esports. What a magic trick by Austerity! Mabubuhay pa siya ng matagal.
Oo nga, nahuli sana siya ng onti pero wala pa ring follow-up yung MKL to just try and burst him down. And again, Jin, very consistent with that damage, but it seems as though IE are eyeing this top lane.
Born this way, wants to go inside of the tower, and Aquarehia prioritizing a different target, that being the Wukong. Wala pang minion wave dito for IE to start the tower dive rather, and IE will disengage from that fight.
That's right. Wala mo nang nagaganap. MKL high playing it very, very safe. They know they aren't quite ahead, nor do they have any power spikes that can help them try and take out IE at this point. No, pero ayun na, in the bottom lane, ayun na, naghahay na naman tong Aatrox tsaka yung Sion. Just trying to greet each other. Di pa rin ako yung tower. Dylan Harper doing a pretty good job at holding it. And I think this is going to be the name of the game for MKL. They're trying to wait out the game because in the late game, you have a lot of damage and CC coming into your lineup.
It's just a heyday here for Inferno Esports kasi everyone is just farming. Literal talaga no? Kasi yung pag-front dito ni 1JW is just getting every minion wave known to man. Kasi hindi naman nakakapag-fight at nakakapag-all-in si Dylan Harper. Just doesn't have any items kagad. Kumpara dito kay 1JW na meron ng Shojin. Here comes World Ender as JW is already soaking up a lot of damage. And can he turn things around? And here comes the second charge of the Darkened Blade plus a maxed out decimating smash. Wala ka ng pantakas, wala ka pang pampiyansa. 1JW gets killed.
That was pretty big coming in from Dylan Harper. He definitely needed that. As at the moment, he's almost down 60 CS from this Aatrox, no? And of course, with the Spear of Shojin, medyo confident siya sana dun, but didn't expect the amount of CC that a Sion and Wukong combo can have. Of course, the Herald will be claimed by IE in the midst of all that.
Yeah, kung makikita mo, no, like, ang laking value ng Bramble Vest. Actually, hindi nga si Dylan Harper yung MVP dun sa fight na yun Yung Grievous Wounds na binigay ng Bramble Vest kung bakit hindi nakakuha ng sustain dito si 1JW. But 1JW, kanina lang gray yung screen mo, baka umulit na naman kasi 4 na yung nakatao sa'yo. 1JW, unlucky sequence para sa kanya. Another death to his name.
The TP coming in, but a little bit too late. Aquaregia, I think he's just trying to make sure he holds that bottom side tower. But again, that TP led up to absolutely nothing. Still Waters getting engaged here.
Oh, what a push by board this way. Pero parang minamaliit ata dito ni Stillwaters yung damage ng Inferno Esports as a nice push from Shelly. Makakuha pa ng malaking pwesto dito sila Austerity. The moment that they get this second tower, they could invade this jungle very, very nicely.
Oo nga, it's the piercing arrow, paring Salve. Grabe talaga, almost half your HP just gone in one hit and the engage, especially with the gap close na meron tong Xin Zhao nila, no? IE very good at playing to their strengths, especially coming into this game with the champions that they were able to pick up.
Yung shoutout ko nga pala ang aking pro talent dito sa Liga Republika, ang 6-man down ng MKL Talagday, Matthew Duma, na it was one of the casters yesterday kasama dito si Creoles, and shoutout din nga pala kay Charles Matthew, no? Good luck sa inyong gimmick later on, pero dito muna tayo sa loob ng Summoner's Rift na kung saan inaambala na nga ngayon ng IE ang Dragon na kailangan ngang i-challenge ngayon ng MKL. What is the game plan? Here comes Realm War, pero dun sa may bandang likod as Dylan Harper, nice decimating smash as Carciel's now already tanking up some damage. Stillwaters will be deleting the Silas out of the map. Certain Goal doing some good form of damage. 3-man decimating smash, tatlo ang lilipad. There is a party on the bottom side pit as everyone is getting wiped here from the side of Inferno Esports. MKL, sila na ang nagda-drive ngayon ng bus as they turn things around with a Dragon plus the win of the team fight.
An amazing play coming in from MKL. That was the team clash that they needed to stand and make a name for themselves coming into this game. A little bit of a bad play coming in from IE, especially with the fact that Sion was just doing everything that in his power to help Peel, and they didn't know whether or not they were going to Realm Warp or not coming in from IE as well.
Yeah, that was a tanky Sion. Walang nakauga dun kay Dylan Harper, no? Not only did he get 2 knockups from his first iteration of decimating smash, he got another 3. So ang laking bagay nun para hindi makapag-push up pa yung mga miyembro ng Inferno Esports. So any delay of damage is already good point of view para dito sa MKL. And it's nice to see na balance nga yung matchup natin ngayon. May nauhuling kalabaw na kailangan mo nang tumakbo habang may lupa pa. Carciel goes for the headbutt and mawawala dito yung Winter's Bite, but the abduct with hit absolutely 100% as Aquarehia gets a pick off.
Big damage already on towards this Silas, especially with the Proto Belt under his hand. And again, just earlier, no, it's very important for you to understand each other as a team, because what happened by IE is that they didn't know whether or not they're going to be realm warping in. Kaya yung nangyayari is just the Silas was solo in the back lane, wala nang follow up. So yan po, these kind of mistakes are what MKL talaga need to capitalize on to make sure they're able to do something against IE.
Dumadami na yung supporters natin dito na Dumpster Fire. Una sa lahat, shoutout nga pala sa ating bossing dyan sa comment section, Giyang Gaming, na makakasama nyo eventually dito sa Liga Republika. Shoutout nga din pala kay Boss Bipolar at kay Mochi Cakes Uwu na abangan nyo sa mga ganap niya sa buhay. Follow nyo nga sila sa mga page nila, guys, kasi meron po silang event ngayon na for sure magugustuhan nyo kung ano po yung gagawin nila, no? So yun, shoutout po sa kanila, especially po dito kay Giyang Gaming. See you soon sa ating casting desk dito sa Liga Republika. Back to the ball game. Yes, tama ka doon actually, no, Mr. Dumpster Fire. Like the potency now for MKL as they slowly cruise into the snowball stage of this game, kasi nagkakaroon na nga ng max stacks dito si Mads from both the Rod of Ages and as well as the Seraph's Embrace. So reliable na yung damage ng MKL if ever man may mag-front dito from IE, kasi there's not really much tankiness here from IJW plus Aquarehia na hindi nga patank yung route nga nila, no? Kasi feeling ko dapat nag-Riftmaker Rod of Ages build si Aqua para mas may sustain sila. But they're just going for damage.
Yeah, and that's going to be very important for IE, especially if they want to secure the early game as they have been, right? No, yung aggressiveness nila makikita natin talaga, especially when you look at the CS diffs coming in from both of these teams, no? The Varus and the Jhin disparity there on CS, especially the Aatrox and Sion, which again is something we expected. Di naman ganun si Sion magfa-farm. But again, these kinds of things are going to help lead the deficit in terms of gold and therefore items and damage later on in the game.
Yeah, damage is indeed the name of the game here, and hopefully, something that IE could learn a thing or two. Kasi from the past 2 team fights that we saw, medyo kinakanvas pa nga nila at kinakapapa nila kung magiging long term nga ba yung damage nila dito. Pero other than that, I'm gonna give a huge shoutout here for Charlene De Jesus na naghahanap nga po ng mag-shoutout nga po sa kanya, and kay Sneaky Praga, Charles Matthew Warrior. Shoutout sa inyong dalawa. Sana good luck po sa mga ganap niyo po sa buhay. 1JW Paluan de Gulay up against Dylan Harper. Makakatakas nga siya, no? And that's already good amount of sustain para sa Sion, no? Kasi isang combo yun ng 8 pero boy pa rin siya.
Oo nga, but again, speaking of item pickups, we already have this Silas on that arm guard. So that's gonna be very, very big for him, especially if he can go for more dangerous dives. Maaari niya niyang mag-stopwatch. But of course, the Rage Blade pickup again from this Varus will help for a big damage spike later on, as of right now, which again they are capitalizing on with the damage that they're doing.
So if ever MKL does rise to the occasion and tries to go for a pick-off, pwede, no? Kasi they do have Deadly Flourish plus a Realm Warp kung maging marumi man yung maging laban nila dito. So disengage is already good enough for MKL as long as they get 1. Wag na nga nilang i-risk dito na maging 5v5 pa. Feeling ko nga kasi wala pa sa pwesto at lakas dito si Stillwaters para makakuha ng magandang DPS kasi Austerity already closing out on his possible 3rd item, and I feel like it has to be Kraken Slayer. Di ako sure, not really. Pero pa-second item pa lang si Stillwaters dito, no? So mas angat yung damage ng Inferno Esports if a team fight insinuates.
Tanga. Pick off is the name of the game here for MKL talaga, and definitely something that they want to be able to try and do. Again, the Dragon actually coming in. It seems as though MKL talaga are eyeing out the area. Gusto nila na maka-pick off to try and be able to claim this Dragon. They're starting it now actually.
Yeah, shout out Boss Daniel Vincent na nanonood ng ating stream sa atin ngayon, no? Thank you so much for your continuous support ng Liga Republika. Pero here comes, what a steal by Born This Way. Grabe nga naman talaga, malademonyo na steal mula dito sa Inferno Esports as now fight breaks up. Pumufront dito si Dylan Harper pero hindi rin siya tumatagal as now a double kill for Austerity will take down Carciel. Now the fight is still going to insinuate, pre, kasi masyado talaga mapilit ang Inferno Esports ngayon. Aquarehia nagmamalasid na nga dito at gusto niya nga mag-all-in kay Mads. Here comes the Kingslayer. Hindi tatama yung abda kay Dylan Harper at hindi siya mapaput in place. Inferno Esports struck really, really nice where MKL na dapat makukuha na nga nila yung kalamangan.
Oo nga. That's gonna be 3 killed coming in from MKL. Good pickups coming in from IE, securing once again the dominance that they took so much to try and build in this game. No, kailangan din naman nilang magiging agresibo, and agresibo they were coming into the vast majority of the CC. At saka yung chase down din ng IE kahit takbo na yung MKL, andun pa din, may mga mahuhuli pa rin.
Yeah, so I feel like Inferno Esports at this stage parang nasa kataasan na ata yung nila, no, yung kumpiyansa nila dito. You have to wonder where are they getting this from, kasi from the amount of team fights that they took, medyo nakakaangat si MKL, lalo na nga rin sa mga team sa mga pick-offs, no. Pero that Dragon Steal from Born This Way parang naging susi pa yun para makabalik na nga sila sa laro dito, and just opening up the gold lead even further as the side laners for Inferno Esports doing marvelous things para ma-pressure talaga ang MKL.
Oo nga. And again, this is gonna be the aggressiveness IE is showing. Oh, look at them just walking, trying to make sure that MKL don't have the resources to try and get anything here.
Yeah, so MKL just trying to clear out the way, make sure everything is dili-dali, malinis lang talaga dapat. A 1v1 against the Great One. Mads, pinangunaan kaagad to ng Rune Prison at nagda-dashing na nga si Aquarehia na umaaura na nga, no, nice chain lash at kukunin niya nga yung Realm Ward dito, pero para saan, boss? Stacks lang ata para dito sa kanyang passive, and Aquarehia gets the heal from the Kingslayer. What a 1v1! Aquarehia stuns everybody.
Grabe yung Dempsey roll dun, pre. Nakita mo ba? Yung Hextech Protobelt na patakilid para lang makapag-dodge. And that was an amazing play coming in from the Silas. Unfortunate from Mads there. He wanted that solo kill, and if he got it, it would have been big for MKL. But Aquaregia just outplaying the Rise there.
So, strong footing para dito sa Inferno Esports, no? And it catapulted to a lot of positionings dito sa mga mapa na hindi na nakakakilos pa. And let's take a look at this instant replay. No, what a
Look at
dodge
that.
dun sa
Look at that
overload na
proto
yon.
whip.
And para talaga madakdakan sa mukha na parang pinosterize niya, that chain lash was the icing on top of the cake. You know? Like, akala natin Mads really had the overload damage. Pero onti lang talaga yung naging agwat nila doon. No? Carciel getting zoned out here out of the map as the Otacon is already being slain here by Inferno.
Yun. And of course, that's gonna be very, very good, especially with the Petals and the Divine Petals at that for IE coming into this game. But again, just the movement and the plays that you can see individually actually give IE the upper hand in the vast majority of these exchanges. You can see Mad still trying to just clear out this bottom side, and he does have the rested assurance of this Alistar and this Wukong.
So, Mads, we need some recovery from you. Kailangan mo bumawi. Kailangan mo ring umara. Kailangan mo din maging malasimba dito. Di pwede. Parang kailangan hawakan mo rin yung tenga nung Silas, friend. Di ba dapat ganun? Dapat may bawi. Hindi pwedeng wala. Pero maya din mabubuhay na yung Dragon dito. And from what I've been observing, Martin, is every item here from IE has just been in a right place right now. Kasi anything that IE could force, pwedeng mapunta sa kanila yung pabor, no? Pwera na lang talaga kung ma-pick off si Austerity dito, pero hindi ko sure kung pwede mangyari yun kasi kumpleto yung summoners niya, pre. Tapos may Baron pa sila.
Oo nga. And IE already approaching, and it seems as though they're gonna try and go for engage onto MKL.
Nice chain of corruption. Sumabog dito sa bot side si Angel Chaewon, and another kill for Austerity. On hit by the way, pero pinalambutan muna na parang pinakuluan si Angel Chaewon, and he gets the dog towards Still Waters. Realm War para makatakas, pero nice knock-up from the abduct of Aquarehia. Sumama si Dylan Harper kung kailan ubos na yung mga kasapi niya. An ace on the bottom side as IE looks to finish.
It could be possible finish here, and again a little bit unfortunate for them. Baron already being claimed as well, and IE just showing dominance the entire game, killing up to a 10k gold lead, and it seems as though no one can be up from MKL. Carciel trying to focus on everything, but there's just too much. Wala na, nagpo-focus pa sila.
Carciel, takbo ka na lang. All they could do is watch MKL get schooled out of their own league. Inferno takes that game number 2.
Amazing play, and of course Austerity, no, just being able to have that insurance for IE gives them a lot of confidence to try and make these plays, and plays they did make, paring Salvatore. That was definitely something that IE capitalized on the vast majority of the game. Kahit na medyo scaling din yung lineup nila, they had so much insurance for the late game. They played very aggressive in that early game. Braum was such a very big pick.
Like, hindi sila takot sa pagti-team fight, no? Like, engage-wise, they are indeed strong. Kasi meron na naman talaga sila ditong Aatrox that could peel a lot of damage para kay Austerity. But, pero hindi, Predo, hindi sila nag-realize sa tanks. Umaasa sila sa ulti ni Austerity para makapasok sila. And that takes a lot of skill to execute kasi the confidence should be there. And kailangan maganda yung timing mo. Mag-change of corruption ka nga, pero wala namang follow-up. Baka ikaw pa yung madali dahil doon. So, Inferno Esports just blazing up the field here.
Pero parang multo talaga yung last clash for MKL talaga, kasi yung si Madze on that rise, nagre-realm warp pa talaga, bumalik pa siya sa realm warp niya, pwede naman siyang tumakbo at maaari pa siguro ma-defend yun, especially with the Silas. But again, just unfortunate for them as Inferno Esports were able to clear them out of the map in those last crucial moments.
So, medyo nakakatakot, no, mula dito sa MKL kasi nung nanalo dito si Aquarehia ng 1v1, I think that was the beginning of the end para sa MKL kasi from that nagkatapult into a Baron and then to a Dragon and then a bottom team fight, tapos ganun pala, tapos na pala. So hindi ko alam kung anong sinusulat nila direct dito na ganun pala dapat matapos ang laban in the most unpredictable way possible. A team fight that should have got a pretty good engage mula sa MKL talaga, considering na yung cyclone dito ni Angel Chaewon was actually huge. Also the damage from overload.
Oh my God.
Kaya kay Mads was even better, no? So nagulat na lang ako na Inferno Esports just really had that damage in them, and they did not back down from their goal, which is totally destroying the competition.
Oo nga, and I think they held Still Waters down to a minimum so well coming in from Inferno Esports. Ilang damage lang yung nagawa niya throughout that entire game. And again, as you mentioned, as the Varus was building up to the third item, no? Parang pa second item pa lang yung G natin.
Yeah, so We take a look at the game stats overall here, no, na makukumpleto nga sana ng Inferno Esports yung Dragon dito, pero inisip nila, sige, Torre at base na lang ang kunin natin, yun naman talaga yung mas mahalaga. So as you can see, no, there's a lot of priority here for MKL to try and put down the jungle side of Inferno Esports. Puro invade, puro fight, puro top side. Pero yung rotations talaga ang lumamang para sa Inferno. Yung mind games sa pinakita nila na kaya nga mag-side lane ni Aqua Rahia, and even a 4v5, they could still win that fight. So we saw some glimpse of hope para sa MKL kasi magandang bagay dito si Dylan Harper. He was soaking up a lot of damage. Pero where is the DPS coming from? Si Mads na madali lang talaga na namamatay.
Oo nga, and of course, it's just how well-rounded Inferno Esports draft is, no? The vast majority of it, here it is, the Hextech Proto Bitplay na pa-triangle. And again, just how well-rounded they are, with the Braum being able to help secure that, you know, space for austerity to just free hit the entire time, allowed him to deal the vast majority of damage for his team that eventually gave them the win.
Yeah, who would have thought this would be the last na makikita natin ang MKL sa laban na yun, that bottom lane team fight. We really thought makakapalag pa ang MKL doon, but apparently not. Like, everything was just a good CC chain. Nag-sandwich at nag-sandwich nga naman talaga. Everything complemented one another. So that is team play for you. Kung gusto nyo makakita ng mga malupitan team play, Inferno Esports, nandyan lang sila. Pero I feel like there's still more action, pre, no? And a familiar team we might see upcoming for our last game for today. Mga summoners, sana nandyan pa kayo kasi the action will still continue as Liga Republika will continue its action after the short break.
open as he saw me running through the trees. He said, little lady, why don't you slow down? I don't want you to hurt yourself now. I've been trying to run away from myself, change my DNA and be somebody else. I've been trying to escape, trying to change my skin. All I ever really wanted was a place to fit in. Thought I heard the moon talking back to me. He said, I know exactly what you mean. I never felt like I meant anything. I've been trying to run away from myself, leave this galaxy and be anywhere else. I've been trying to escape, I hate being alone. All I ever really wanted was someone to call home. Mr. Moon, I don't know if this means much to you, but planet Earth, well, she can't get enough of you. She's been writing you love songs and poems, and if you were to leave, I think she might be broken. Then the moon got quiet again, and I thought I had lost my new friend. And the moon said she feels the same way about you. She's been growing flowers for your hair, and she loves to hear you sing freely through the air. Did you know she's not been feeling well? I said, yeah, I could tell. She's been trying to fight for life by herself. She's been trying to make a home for everyone else. She's been trying to be patient, trying to be kind, but all of this illusion is fogging her mind. Then I felt the earth shift beneath my feet, and I felt the warmth of the moonbeam. For the first time I felt okay in my skin, 'cause I finally found a place where I fit in. We keep keeping on. We're the dreamers. We push through the darkness with all that we've got. We keep keeping on. But oh mama, we've made it to the other side singing. Oh mama, oh mama. Hold your head up high. This is our time. Hold your head up high. This is our time. Together we will rise, step into the light. We were born to come alive. Hold your head up high. This is our time. This is our time.
Patuloy pa rin ang paglikha ng alamat dito lamang sa Liga Republika. We're now down to our last best of one for today, and the action just keeps getting better and better, Dumpster Fire.
That's right. Once again, we're your casters. I'm here with Salvatore. No other person, no? Yung aking pare, my best friend since childhood.
Uy,
Diba?
naalala ko
Diba?
pa nung
Oo.
pag may ginagawang bahay sa kapitbahay, pre, naglalaro tayo palagi sa buhangin. Ayan si Martin. Favorite ko na childhood friend yan si Martin. Taga saan ko ulit?
Oo nga.
joke lang. Don't answer that. Pre, we're now down to our last best of one where Reapers
right.
will be taking center stage once more to a name na feeling ko, pre, pagkatapos na ito, magre-relapse talaga sila. No?
Ayan.
Reapers
Oo nga.
versus I Miss You.
Ayan.
Ang galing talaga ng mga Pilipino pagdating sa Caloocan eh. No?
Oh, what's crazier, no, is that these two teams have already won 2 games each. So si I Miss You, grabe talaga yung laban nila, no? Ang lakas. Ang lakas ng relapse. And
Pre,
again, of course,
ginamit nila yung yung relapse para talunin yung
Yun.
endless ends.
Oo.
Kaya nakapasok sila dito to face Reapers na look pretty strong kanina, no, pre. So
Indeed,
kung nakakuha nga sila ng solid na panalo with this team. So one thing that they could do talaga, no, na pinaka nakakatawa ngayon is beat Reapers at their own game, which is aggression.
That's right. And of course, the stakes are very high here in the single eliminations for our qualifier round. And of course, they all have their eyes set on the goal, which is this 860,000 peso prize pool. But not just that. Isn't that right, Salvatore?
Yeah, so they also have a chance to represent the Philippines in the upcoming League of Legends Championship Pacific, and hopefully, knock on wood, patok sa lahat ng pwede at kumuha ng anting-anting, because they will have a chance to represent also the Southeast Asian region for the 2025 League of Legends World Championship. That is
That's right.
ungodly amount of reward nga naman talaga. Not only do you get the lion's share of 860,000 pesos, makakapasok ka pa sa LCP, and then you will be eventually representing in the 2025 World Championships. No? So makakamaya mo si Faker, mahehellowan mo sila Keria, makakakain ka sa parehong mesa kasama si Bin, si Ruler, makakalaro mo minsan ng 1v1. Ang dami, no? Parang nagiging delusional at para social lang ako.
Ayun na po, makaka-CR mo lang yung mga pinapanood mo sa YouTube, di ba? Of course, it is gonna be a very, very big opportunity to see any other PH team, no, represent themselves on the world stage with the nation at their back naman, parang Salvatore. But again, we are in for a very heck of a game. Of course, Reapers, we were able to see their very, very strong draft early. And of course, this is gonna be the first time that we'll see I Miss You on live. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, this is our last match for today. But fret not, because there are going to be more live streams coming up in the following days, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so feeling ko nga naman talaga, no, that this will deliver one heck of a match, no, considering na Reapers meron pa silang momentum sa laban kanina, no. So what more pa kaya dito for the side of I Miss You, na feeling ko nga naman ready na nga sila mag-relapse at magpakawala ng mga malulupit na edits dyan dito sa loob ng Summers. Alam mo yung mga sad boy edits, pre, feeling ko yun ata yung gameplay music dito ng ano, no, ng I Miss You, no. Pero may mga Bart Simpson na edit.
Oo nga, yung mga Bartsin yun. Teka, yung si Shinji. Pag ganun lang, di ba? Coming into this game.
Member ka ba ng I Miss You? Parang familiar yung pwesto.
Wala. Teka lang, pero nagda-draft na kami.
Nagda-draft na nga pala, no? So yun na nga, no, mamaya na nga ang ating Cheche Bureche dyan, guys, because it's now time for one of the most integral parts of our game. It's going to be the draft phase. Nakita natin kanina na malakas talaga yung saya dito ni Rocky, so not gonna be blaming I Miss You kung gusto nga nila iban yun.
Oo nga, it all goes down to preference, no? And of course, I don't really blame these teams for going for specific bans against players. Kasi kung magaling ka naman, di ba, marami kang nalalaman na heroes, right? You can play a lot of champions under your belt naman. And I think that just goes to show that later on, especially as we approach more and more through Liga Republika, we'll be able to see players of the highest caliber showing themselves.
Yeah, so yun na. Pagkatapos na ito ng vibe ban is going to be the Pantheon. So feeling ko nga naman, no, mostly engages yung nakikitang ban natin. Ang high, ang laki din ng ban rate ng Pantheon, no? Kasi sobrang dali nga lang naman,
kawawa naman
na point and click yung stun, no? Tapos may global presence pa nga. And so far, Reapers has been prioritizing the mid here with Akali and the Yoneban. I Miss You going for range now, na magiging flexible sila, na hindi lang sila basta jungle and support magbaban. So feeling ko kasi pwede mong i-flex si Pantheon, no? So Azir. So probably RP, Silas ba ng pinakamaganda dito? But a Nidalee, okay. So may respeto ang Nidalee dito para sa Reapers.
Oo nga. And of course, Azir, very, very important as a ban coming in from I Miss You here. And it could be because they're trying to go for a stronger assassin kind of lineup, no, yung mga pick-offs on the backline, and Azir's Emperor's Divide can definitely be a hindrance to that, but the Poppy will be locked in here by I Miss You.
Yeah, so maganda to actually for I Miss You. That threatens Reapers na hindi sila makapag-spacing kagad sa mapa. So any form of dashes will be very, very bad from them, no? As long as na itong Poppy na to will go to the support, there is going to be a lot of flexibilities in the jungle and the top side. So the moment na mag-counterpick tong RP, pwedeng mapunta sa support at tong Poppy na to, no? So wala nang kagulat-gulat dito, no? Take me back to 2023. Nocturne and Orianna para sa first two picks ng Reapers.
Oh, very, very something that we haven't been able to see for the vast majority, no? Except this Orianna, who again has very, very strong utility. May damage din naman, and the shockwave is definitely something you're gonna have to look out for coming into this game. But the Ari response here from I Miss You, and they have one more pick incoming.
Ang malagang katanungan dyan, Mr. Dumpster Fire, may nami-miss po ba si Mr. Martin? Meron po ba?
Oy, kung ano yun, confidential information na yun.
Confidential
Yeah, pwede.
information. Okay.
Oo.
Good
Nakasign ako ng NDA, par. Kung sino yung
Ay,
namimiss ko, di
lang,
pwede,
yun
di
lang,
pwede.
no? Grabe
Oo.
naman yung relasyon nyo, no? Nagpipramahan kayo ng kontrata, no? Baka naman
Ganun na yun eh.
kaya
2025 na eh.
Kaya pala mag-aabogado ka, bossing.
Oy, wag naman.
Para marunong ka
grabe
magbasa
naman.
ng contract.
Mga contract,
Gets
ganun
kita,
pala.
gets kita. I understand you now,
Oo,
Okay, so
syempre
going
naman.
back to the face, no? So we have a Lucian pick here for Reapers. So I miss you. You should really ban out Nami dito kung gusto niyo hindi lumago yung kalakasan dito ng Lucian. And I think a good top lane ban of a Fiora or even an Aatrox could be really nice para sa I miss you.
Oy, ano po, the Rakan ban to just try and stop a synergy between the Saya, no? Coming in from the Reaper. And again, that's gonna be a very, very good foresight for them. Try and stop that from happening. But again, I miss you will now have a response of a ban of their own. As of the moment, parang wala pa yatang support dito yung RP. And I think there are a lot of things that are open and able for them to take.
Yeah, isa na doon isa na doon actually is the Nami. So, I miss you should really ban that. And for RP naman, baka mas kailangan pa nga nilang mag-ban ng top lane, pero di pa nga natin sure kung saan pupunta tong Poppy na to. Yun, baka nga magsaya Poppy tong I miss you na bot lane na to. So, for Reapers, you should just really wing it out. Probably Ornn could be your last ban, but a jungle will be banned here for Reapers. Wukong. So feeling ko magtatank tong RP sa pagdating sa top side no? Kasi ang dami na nga nilang forms of damage. It's already 3 layers. So hindi na ako magugulat kung Sion or Ornn to para sa RP.
Oo nga, pero nababa na yung Braum here for I miss you. And again, RP in the support role, they can definitely get a lot of other champions, no? Milio as well, possibility. Nami, as you mentioned. So we'll see whether or not I miss you are gonna be able to try and take that eventually for themselves when they get their 2 picks, or will RP secure their 4th pick as a support?
Okay, so for I miss you, a good challenge here is probably pick Morgana, pero Nautilus na para dito sa Lucian. That's really good combination, no? It's not the usual sight na makikita nga natin, no? But with the potential that we might see, kasi nga parehong malakas yung all-in nila. This is still strong. Though. It's far from the usual Nami Lucian, pero Nautilus Lucian couldn't be far from the truth na meron silang malakas na early game dito, no? So rel ang kukunin ng I miss you pangontra doon sa may Nautilus, and it is going to be a field day in the bot lane, no? Kung si Raki kanina ay gumamit nga ng Lucian, ipapakita naman tayo ng I miss you kung paano sila mag-relapse dito lamang sa Saya.
Oo nga, pero magiging problema tong Poppy sa Nocturne tsaka yung Lucian, no? Because Nautilus actually can't hook into Poppy, lalo na pag naka-cancel yung dash with that ability. And again, that is gonna be a Trundle pickup from I miss you.
Okay, so from judging from it, no, magtatap na tong Trundle na to. So that leaves RP with a chance to just pick an AP champion, probably Rumble, no? Or if not, just go for another decent top laner na pwedeng ikabawas din ng kalaban. So for RP, a lot of options actually, no? So Nar for the range top laner, Urgot pwede rin actually, but the Nar will be in favor here for the side of RP. Very very unusual picks ang mga nakita natin ngayong araw, no? Far from the ones that we saw from the first 2 days.
Yeah, I can definitely, I'm actually very curious as to saan pupunta tong Trundle, no? Magta-top ba to or magja-jungle? Kasi Trundle is pretty good against Knockfoot. And Nar already locked in here for RP. And again, it's just a surprise kung saan talaga pupunta tong mga heroes na to. Ang daming mga flex na maaaring mapupunta sa ibang lane. But of course, there you have it, the face-off of our 3D characters. Amazing. Mag-aaway I miss you versus Reapers.
Yeah, parang we live in the big 2025 na isa sa mga teams na nagko-compete para sa slot sa LCP ay nagngangalang I miss you. Isipin mo nga naman, no, pre, nakapasok si I miss you sa LCP. Kailangan natin silang ipagtanggol at ipaglaban na ang team na magwawagi para dito sa Liga Republika is I miss you. Tapos maglaro sila sa LCP, no? Ano kayo isipin ng mga ibang bansa sa atin, no? Ba't ganito tayo magpangalan ng mga teams?
Sino ba nami-miss ng Pilipinas? Ayan na po.
Ay, no? As,
Yeah, 3.
yung mga interviews pa, no? Like, bakit I miss you yung team? Sino ba nagre-relap sa
Siyempre,
kanila?
magtatanong talaga yan.
It's just
oo.
content material, no?
Yun.
Hindi, you
Free
cannot
traction,
deny.
di ba?
Oo, pre. Kasi any publicity is good publicity.
Good publicity. Yun. Oo nga, ang dami talagang dash na makakancel. Yung Papi, no? May Nar, Luke, tsaka yung Not din naman. It depending on how RP definitely are going to try and play this game. Siyempre, alam naman nila yun, di ba? And so it goes to show whether or not this Papi can make the most out of their champion and capitalize. But again, the macro is something that we have yet to see from both of these teams. Ano ba yung mga galaw nila sa Summoner's Rift?
Yeah, so this is RP looking pretty different from the one that we saw kanina nga, no, that would take a different route pagdating sa scaling. Hindi tayo masyadong makakita ng top lane and mid lane fights kasi feeling ko nga naman the range will speak for itself kung sino nga ba makakalamang dun sa lane na yun. But the bot lane, pre, dito ako na-excite with both junglers have fairly easy crowd control sa pwede nga nilang gamitin bilang pang-alas. Baka makakita tayo ng maraming black and white screens pag nagsimulang maglaban tong dalawang bot lane na to.
Oo nga, may makikita ba tayong shockwave delivery galing ng Nocturne, no? Yung the age-old combo. Yung Orianna at saka yung Noct natin.
It's just very, very unusual, no? Na pumili na nga sila ng Poppy, pero nag-lock in pa rin sila ng Nautilus. So, oo, given naman na, no, na Rel talaga yung counterpart nito. Pero that opens up a lot of opportunity para dito sa I Miss You na maging kontra sa team fighting, no? Baka mas sa kanila nga pumabor yung mga dragon fights.
Oo nga. So of course, priority is still gonna be the name of the game. Mid will be fighting for priority. Yung RP bot lane still will look to fight so that tong Lucian nila, no, can definitely get that lead. As we know, very very strong as a champion in that bottom side if he gets the lead that he needs.
Yun. So, see, grabe nga ang seamless ng mga 3D champions natin. Like, they look very 2025. Napakalupit nga naman talaga, and that's because of our broadcast partner here for Liga Republika, none other than Serial Kitten. So huge shout out to the production, anyone, sa lahat ng mga bumubuo dito lamang sa Serial Kitten. Maraming salamat because you're delivering us one heck of a broadcast for today.
Look at this.
Because for the past few days, no, parang you guys exceeded everyone's expectations when it comes to graphics and just overall presentation ng ating Liga Republika for this year. So, hindi pa ito ang makikita nyo para dito sa Liga Republika. Matagal nyo pa kaming mga kasama dito at matagal nyo pang makikita yung gantong klaseng kagandahan, no?
Oo nga, and it seems as though the time is nearing as we slowly approach Summoner's Rift. But again, I'm super excited to see this game. Again, both of these teams, very high stakes, no? This is still a single eliminations of our qualifiers. Both these teams 2-0 already as of standing as we now approach the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, looking pretty nice. Ay, nagkakaliparan na nga ng mga pangalan dito, no? So, yeah, this is I Miss You. Mga tito ko to, Mga idolo ko to, mga to. Shoutout nga pala, no, sa kay Wako, kay Knuckles, mga dating magakampiyan, at si Luke Justin as well, no? So si Mallory, dating Godsend Esports Yuri, not really sure where he's from, no? Pero yeah, this is a team na filled with veterans, no? So a lot of respect actually for I Miss You.
Yan, grabe pala. We have the analysis, ladies and gentlemen. So a lot to be desired now and to look forward to coming in from I Miss You. And of course, RP, definitely something that we're gonna be able to, pay attention to, especially as to how they played that last game. Narf, again, on this summon area Orianna, something very important coming into this game, especially with the engages, yung mga small skirmishes lang, that shield goes a long way.
Hindi ako nagkakamali, no? This is Limitless Arcade / Life is Roblox na roster para dito sa di ba, pre, kala mo I Miss You lang yung nakakatawa, no? Pero way back in the day, si Justin, si Wako, tsaka si Knuckles, dati team nila, no, sa unang version ng Liga Republika, it was Life is Roblox, no? So fact of the day na naman, may hatid sa inyo ni Salvatore, na sana hindi po kayo nagsasawang makinig po dyan, guys. Pero yun, nagsisimula na nga ating laning phase, na kung saan tinan mo nga naman, early pokes because of the clockwork wind-up dito na meron si Narf, at doon talaga magkakatalo when it comes to trading.
Oo nga, and as you can already see, very very big pokes coming from the middle lane already, i.e. I'm sorry. Reapers once again just playing this bottom lane pretty well. There is gonna be a little bit of engage coming in from Raki and random players. Something we already expected, no? Aggressiveness from this Lucian and this Nautilus.
I wonder kung paano mangyayari dito para sa bottom side kasi walang amplification ng damage ngayon si Raki, no? At doon nga naman talaga umaasa ang Lucian para tumapat doon sa mga early game ADCs na meron tayo. You have Draven, you have Saya, and in this kind of matchup, maganda sana yung yung isa na ng Nami, pero hindi natin nakikita nga ngayon, pero bumabawi sila sa all-in no? The moment that they hit level 2, nangalahati at nagulantang yung buhay dito ni Knuckles.
Oo nga, very very big pokes coming in from both these teams, and again, no steady rotations yet. They've already reached level 2, but it seems as though if history will dictate it, no, as of our previous games, yung may engage natin, makita natin at level 3 probably for all of these champions.
Yeah, let's see. Kasi doon naman talaga natin nakikita yung epekto ng pag-all-in no? The moment that they hit level 3, signature abilities na yun no? Tinan mo na nga naman, Mallory getting the grass proc, and that's a full-on combo at masakit yun sa kokote dito ni Optimus Princeps, no? Kasi you would really want that lead in the early game kasi range top laner ka nga
Oo nga, but we have a lot to expect coming in from I Miss You kasi mostly the place that they can definitely go for is yung pick-offs nila with the Ari Charms, Poppy Charges, tsaka yung mga pillars.
Teka lang, Optimus. Parang gusto natang tumakas gamit dito ang hapa. But Mallory, tarong inaalikabukan lang talaga yung damage dito ni Optimus Princeps. Tamang pawi lang talaga sa kanya mga balikat. Kasi there's not really much damage that you could rely on for Optimus Princeps. Meron siyang spacing because of the fleet footwork, but there will be a breakout dito lamang sa ating mid lane as a random player na walking up. This is a Yuri with a flash. Tatama ba yung dredge line? The answer will be yes, and here comes the crash down. Yuri now disengages. Tatama dito yung charm, but a good shattering strike disengages the engage of PHX. Actually, Reapers nga pala yun, no? But either way, what a good stun mula dito kay Knuckles. Pero nagsusuntukan pa rin si Luke Justin, pati rin yung Nocturne. And that is it, no? Grabe nga naman ang ambahan ng dalawang teams na to.
Oo nga, and again, a lot of prowess being shown from both of these teams. I mean, they made it this far for a reason din naman. Alright, we got TPs coming in from top and mid from I Miss You, no? Sama-sama pa silang nagti-TP. And already back to their lanes, we can see the aggression already being shown from bot side, as well as this middle with a visit from Knuckles here on this rel.
Yeah, so very huge room. Parang napaka-prominent na mga nakikita natin, no? From sub 5 minutes dapat talaga nagkakaroon tayo ng roaming between the supports. They really want that first blood, malaking bagay, malaking factor actually to get the snowball. So, can't blame for both the players here, for Knuckles and as well as random player na kunin kagad yung gold na yun para mag-snowball eventually si Narf or even si Yuri. That could force them the team fights na pwedeng ikatalo ng isa.
Oo nga. And of course, there are a lot of things to look out for if you are RP here. You already have the charge as well as yung pillar combo, no? Coming from the Trundle, and very interesting if they can pull it off. It should be easy enough naman with the slow coming in from the pillar. But of course, Ori is also very strong with the early trade due to the passive bonus na meron sa kanya in this middle lane.
Ang dami nga nagpapabati sa ating comment section ngayon, no, Martin? It's kind of nice that we're seeing the community group up together, no? Knuckles tumatakbo na nga, no? And here comes the piercing light, good amount of damage mula dito kay Rocky, random player tumatakbo na nga, and here comes the first blood claimed from Reapers as Rocky is now running away. Meron pang blade caller si Wako, pero sasalo to ng malupit. Rocky popping up the barrier and a double kill for the Reapers ADC, and Rocky showed some class.
Ayan na po, and that's gonna be the early lead that Rocky and the rest of RP are going to try and commit onto the barrier. Very, very important in securing that double kill here on the bottom side, and he will recall to spend all of that money, no?
And, definitely, no? So, very valuable na yung items dito ni Rocky. Much more huge threat para dito sa I Miss You. Pero sideline nga muna tayo dito, no? Shoutout nga pala kay Joshua Suarez Javier. Pinapabati nga pala ni Marvin Gonzalez. Dito pala si William Lusada, ang ADC God down ng Bacolod. Shoutout nga pala sa mga taga Bacolod dyan. At kay John Russell Amado mula kay Daymark Orisa. Yan lang guys. Community engagement lang tayo. Yan ang pinakabubuhay dito sa ating broadcast, no? At masaya yung ganyan actually, no? Yung konting away. Pero sana wag naman.
Oo, diba? And of course, because Raki was able to get that double kill in the bot side, it will be very hard for I Miss You's bot now to go for 2v2s as mid. Just gets cleaned up actually, Yuri.
What?
Nawawala na
Deleted?
kaagad.
Pero kasi pre, punishment yun. Si Yuri walang flash, pero hindi na nga siya nakapwesto pag gamit ang Spirit Rush. So, I was just very, very surprised, no, na ganun lang talaga siya wala, no? And that's the combo for the Nocturne and the Orianna.
Oo nga, Shockwave. Both ultimates utilized. That's gonna be a free kill. And it's a pretty big kill, might I say. Nakapag-freeze pa, tsaka naka-recall pa rin yung Orianna natin coming on towards this middle lane. Meanwhile, on the top side, it seems as though Optimus Princeps has been backing Mallory out for quite some time. We've seen them in the same position, medyo malapit sa tower ng I Miss You.
So, Pinball Winter ba yung ipapry dito ni Mallory, no? So, a lot of shields here for the name of Mallory. Hindi lang bakil mula sa passive niya yung makukuha niya, no? But also from the Pinball Winter kung mabubuo niya ngayon. Not really sure kung mabubuo kaagad ni Mallory yung ganong klaseng item kasi hindi naman talaga mana consuming ang Papi. Correct me if I'm wrong, pero magandang build path pa rin to para talaga mahanap ng I Miss You yung mga sustain na inaasam talaga nila. So Mallory pa up na nga yung teleport niya, ganun din naman dito kay Princeps, but the Void Grabs is already up. Pero nagkaroon na nga ng lane swap to get that damage going on. Knowing na si Wako tsaka si Rocky, nakikita na nga natin ang potential when it comes to dealing damage in that department.
Oo nga, look at that. The grasp as well as the passive perfectly utilized from the Poppy to poke out Rocky there. And again, the lane swap, definitely something I Miss You had to do so they don't no longer face that Lucian, no, who's been pretty much bullying them ever since that skirmish on the bottom side. RP now looking towards this dragon. Seems as though it will be taken without any contention from I Miss You.
So, magkakatalo na lang, no? Sino makakuha talaga ng Field of Warfare dito. At parang gusto ata nila mag-diving dito pero wala namang resort na nakikita. Knuckles was deep inside the tower. And very awkward positioning mula sa kanila. Dredge line, si random player, sinalo. Akala niya ata pader pero kalaban yung nakita niya. Nice command protect para tumagal pa nga. But the Spirit Rush is just too good from Yuri. And they go for the 1-for-1.
Grabe, sayang. Kala ko makakatakas pa yung Nautilus doon dahil sa dissonance tsaka yung shield protect. But of course, it is gonna be a problem. Rocky now going on towards Mallory.
Oh, bakit ka nag-1v1 ng Bruiser? Basta mo ba sa panahon ngayon ng 2025, isa sa mga golden rule ng mga ADC players dyan, wag ka papalag sa mga ganyang klaseng champion. Yung ultimo pre, level 8 ka, tas level 6 yung top, tas bakit kinakalahati ako nito? Here comes Paranoia mula dito, wala sa Nocturne, and there goes the fear and the most easiest kill of his life. And what a play here by the invade of the Nocturne.
Nocturne already doing so much with this Tiamat, right? Being able to pretty much establish his dominance as the jungler here for RP, which is something that they really needed coming into this game. Because once you get Luke Justine as well to be able to beat the tank bruiser that he is, especially with the damage that already is allowed under his belt through his abilities, it is going to be a problem now for Reapers. But again, the net worth lead, not too crazy as at the moment. Of course, RP will be leading with a 3-kill lead up against I Miss You.
Okay, so swap here for Rocky and Narf. Easy access para sa gold. Mabilis niya makukuha kagad dito kasi mabilis ang pasok ng mid lane minions. And that's putting a lot of notice din para makapag-shadow din yung mga kakampingan nila, no? So, if ever Rocky does get picked off, meron naman silang Paranoia dito. Pwede makapag-room din kaagad si Narf kasi may teleport nga naman. So, the rest po here for RP, safe na safe lang kahit mag-overextend si Rocky, pero sana nga wag naman, no? But, I Miss You, they do have a good amount of team fighting in them, no? Kasi pag may nasubjugate sa kalaban, napakalambot din dun. So any pick-off is already a good pick-off para sa I Miss You. Yun ang inaantay nila. Yung timing pag may nasubjugate, luluha talaga siya at may mawawala sa mapa.
Oo nga. And of course, looking towards this middle lane, no? Just on the matchup itself, Ari already building up that dark seal could be very important. And I think they have to rely on Yuri to be able to build plays around the map, especially with the fact that they are doing pretty well up against Narf in that middle lane.
Yeah, so inaantay lang natin, no, na RP is utilizing now their lead to get the snowball that they want. So, feeling ko nga, no, na RP is just banking on the door ng Dragon na to, no. Pag nabuhay to, they do have an ample amount of control, especially on the mid and bottom side. The disengage is also there. The peeling from the calling in as well as death charge. Nandiyan naman yan for safety measures na pag tumesting ang I miss you, sige, lalaban kami. Kung hindi namin kaya, may pantakas din naman kami. Pero masyado ka na nga nag-overstep dyan. Binigyan ka na nga ng traffic code dyan. Idolon, here comes the dredge line over to Yuri. Pero level 5 ka lang, random player. Kung ako sa inyong dalawa, tumakbo na kayo. Masyado na kayo nag-overextend. Stepping on the line na nga kayo. Here comes Paranoid. Gusto pang balik rin ng Nocturne. Pero shutdown ka ngayon. Wala kay Yuri. Makakataka si random player. Pero sa kapalit ng buhay ng jungler.
Oo nga. That was interesting enough kasi kala ko ginalaw nila si Rocky doon sa middle lane kasi naka-first item na yun eh. That's pretty big for him. Nalusa siya ng Essence River of all things. Kala ko nilagay nila yun sa middle lane para makakapag rotate lang din sa kahit anong objectives para may involve pa rin siya with the lead that he has. Unfortunately, that is going to be a trade there and they do lose the Nocturne for RP.
Yeah, so a minute into Dragon, I think the bot laner should be roaming by now para makapwesto sila. No? Nice denial of the shockwave. Pero by the time na magkaroon tayo ng Dragon, I think up na ata yung Feather Storm dito ni Wako, no? And now here comes the teleport mula kay random player para matigil nga yung mga ports nila dito kasi gustong ilaban ng Nocturne. Mallory now feared but the delay from the crash down is just huge. Mabubuhay nga ba si Mallory? Nice heroic charge dun lamang sa may minion pero hindi pa rin siya mabubuhay. Double from the jungle of RP as they continue to take over the lanes.
Grabe talaga yung sustain coming in from the Nocturne, especially with that Conqueror, no? So the longer the fight goes on, parang ayaw niya ata makalaban na yung Nocturne na yun and will be able to take 2 with the help of random player 1-2-1. Again, mostly the objectives are still up in the air. We'll see whether or not both of these teams are gonna try and go for a contest on each other against this, but as of now, very, very comfortable is RP with the plays that they're making. They just have to no longer overstep like they did earlier where they lost the life of their Nocturne.
Yeah, so it's very important for RP to not really overcommit on anything, no? Kasi this is I Miss You that continuously sustains in their fight. Yuri can also space himself para talaga makuha niya yung mga damage kasi Orb of Deception already in this level, pamax na yan. So a lot of respect here for I Miss You to not do anything here that would derail their chances of coming back to the game kasi laman na naman talagang RP pagdating sa kills. Random player na trap na nga at hindi siya makatakas sa sarili niyang mga demonyo. What a 3-man engage from I Miss You as they eye for Dragon.
Grabe, ganun lang. Binigyan at nawawala na kaagad. That's gonna be the jump in from Nocturne.
That's a good ulti and a paranoia para maging 1-1 na nga ang ating trade kasi gusto nga i-contest ng RP tong Dragon na to. So, kahit sa ayaw man o sa hindi ng I Miss You, man, ay kahit sa gusto man o sa hindi ng I Miss You, there is still going to be a Dragon's Lane. Akala natin, I Miss You, it will be going to their direction, but RP will take that.
That's right. And again, if you just look at the vast majority of the macro for most of the map, no, masasabi mo talaga na it's pretty much an even game. 4-8 nga, 4-8 nga on kills, leading RP. But in terms of net worth, isang 1k lang yun. And
Yuri! Yuri!
Charm!
Yuri! Wait lang, boss! Wait lang, boss! Yung buhay mo, hindi pabor sa'yo. Nakaswero ka na. Tumama pa yung boomerang throw dito ni Optimus Prince. He grabs the Ardent Blaze. Rocky inside of the tower will be dodging Shattering Strike. And Rocky is just putting on the show and styling on him. Here comes the crash down and Rocky is just one hit away. At makukuha ng support yung shutdown bounty ni Rocky. At one hit pa yung tower dito. And RP, that was very overzealous from Yuri and as well as Rocky.
Oo nga, pero executed lang si Optimus Princeps, which is pretty good, all things considered coming into that. But again, they do lose 2 eventually. They were able to bring down Yuri, but was it really that worth it coming in from RP? What do you think, Salva?
So, I think it's a fairly equal trade. Kasi 1-for-1 naman. Kung tatanggalin natin yung execute dito ni Optimus Princeps, it would have been a 2-for-1. Pero wala namang kinapunta yung pera na yun no? Si Knuckles, sa kanya napunta yung dapat kay Yuri or even kay Wako. So, okay, Knuckles, maraming salamat sa pera, diba? So, okay na rin yan.
Alright, so the Herald already being contested here. RP and I Miss You very eager to try and dance around this topside river. The charm comes in.
Okay. It's just a poke. It's just a matter of poking. Poking and prodding lang. Tusukan lang ang gusto dito ng I miss you. Tignan natin kung saan nga ba aabot tong damage kun to. Look, Justin already walking up at all gets tagged by the dredge line plus the death charge. Nice shockwave from Narf and Rocky takes down the jungler. But Knuckles is taking up so much damage as well. But the Nocturne is going in kahit kulang na nga yung buhay niya dito. Optimus Princess now going into the front. Wako, nice blade caller to root down 2 players. But Wako, can he do some damage? Nice Nar over to the wall. Yuri now running away. Namayapan na yung mga kakampi niya na parang ganun lang. Optimus Princess sidestepping the charm. It looks like Reapers has a good hold of the game.
Very, very good coming from Reapers as well. I miss you, Yuri. A little bit preoccupied with taking down that Nocturne, but in return, he loses 2 members of his team as well. So RP very happy to make that exchange as they were able to gain more. And possibly Yuri if they tried to go for an engage. But again, with the kill gained, a Spirit Rush charge was refreshed.
Yeah, so pretty huge. Very nice para sa Reapers, no. Yung presence nila, no, in terms of confidence, nakikita na nga natin, pre. Kasi there was no turning back from a random player just walking up over to look Justin's direction, no. Nakakala nga natin, inaantay nilang mag-engage mismo ang I miss you kasi they do have a fair amount of crowd control for someone here at Reapers to get picked off. Pero hindi, pre, binuhos talaga nila lahat para walang masubjugate dito sa Reapers, no. And the protection here from Optimus Princeps and as well as the Nocturne, very, very nice. Tinampara. No, yan, hindi pa pala tapos ang boxing dito kasi magkakaroon ng combo plus the shockwave and an even better dredge line from random player. At tinatangke na nga lahat ni random player yung damage dito because I miss you goes and is wanting for a revenge. And now everyone here for RP is now running away as they eye for referral.
Unfortunate coming in from the side of I miss you here, and actually RP is doing what I miss you should be doing because I miss you can't go for team fights with the comp that RP has. They should try and look for pick-offs before ever thinking of starting any objective at all coming into this game. But RP gets the pick off their own as I miss you look to trade with this bottom side turret.
1v2 and Optimus Princeps doing his best para madepensahan nga talaga to. And the rest of the crew here from I miss you now roaming down bottom side to get an easy share of the bottom lane towers. Para makuha nga nila dito yung eventual gold lead pero sa tulong ni Shelly makuha nga nila yung mid tower at parang namamatahan na nga ng RP dito yung enhancement ng kanilang kalakasan, pre, no? At teka lang, Nocturne, saan ka pupunta ngayon? They see me rolling pero ginamit niyang pangtakas si Shelly, pre. Solid, ganun pala mag-drive-by.
Ganun lang, men. Ngayon, napadrift siya dun eh. When nag-X-Flash pa kasi Knuckles, that's gonna be an engage onto Princeps. Do they convert into anything though? As it is gonna be a disengage for that Gnar coming into the bottom side.
Yeah, so RP, they have a strong connection with one another, no? Like everything is just in tip-top shape na whenever there's an execution of a play, maasahan mo talaga si Narf and as well as the jungler. But Rocky and random player, mas solid nga naman talaga yung pinapakita nga nila, no? Because they do not fear any engage. Zero miedo nga, no? Ika nga nila. And RP, I feel like in this stage, nag-aantay na lang talaga sila ng timing laban sa I miss you, no? So if anyone gets caught, random players for ability CC, nandun na, naka-ready na para may ma-pick off dito. But RP, with anyone here for I miss you is also an high priority target, eh.
Oo nga, and again, not looking good for I miss you as a moment as RP seems to have been very, very dominant. But of course, there it is, the vision. For RP, I miss you definitely can surprise them here.
Nasala talaga yung dredge line dito pero maganda yung Magnet Storm. Dala ng I miss you kill already picked off here by RP but look, Justin will go for the 3 for the 1-for-1 Rocky. Inuuna na nga ni Mallory dito. Nasa na yung pwesto, nasa na yung peeling and a nice blade caller over to Optimus Princeps pero makakatakas pa nga siya. Narf now going to the backlight at mawawala si Wako dito. The Saya is now down. Sa wakas may mga kakampi na si Rocky but he will be taken down by the Hammer Shock and the cleanup crew from RP is just too damn good. What a team fight by Reapers as they get the Cloud Drake.
4-for-3 exchange, and again, I miss you. Luke Justin, the only remaining member, decides not to contest that at all. And again, that's just free for RP coming into this game. And they played that team clash so well. Gnar having no flash was a big thing for RP because Gnar flash is so big for engage. But again, just being able to pick them off anyway, throws the rock, flashes away, was an amazing play coming in from RP.
Narf just standing on business no? Na parang, I will just walk over everybody. Uunahin ko si Wako. Man, he didn't even have Shockwave on that one and Command Protect was used para talaga protektahan si Nocturne. So, all he had was just the auto attacks and Dissonance. So, that was just a Sigma-like move para kay Narf na kunin kagad yung nag-iisang damage dealing dito wala sa I Miss You. And because of the crowd control na natatanggap ni Yuri, I don't know kung dapat bang makapwesto pa siya dun because RP's punishment is way
Oo nga. And at this point of the game, the Ari is a very, very strong character here for I Miss You. And RP just being able to commit that Shockwave Nocturne combo as well. Right onto the Ari, melted within the first few seconds of the team fight. That was very, very capitalistic for them to try and take that game. It was very important for them to take the pick off onto the Ari as well.
Scaling now huge here for Reapers as Narf already getting the Shadow Flame. So everyone's health bars here for I Miss You. Mag-ingat-ingat na nga kayo, no? So the only layer of magic resist I'm only seeing is the Solari and as well as the Mercury Threads mula dito kay Mallory and Knuckles respectively. So if Narf is just building continuous magic penetration for his third item, probably a Storm Surge, kailangan na magsulat-sulat ngayon ng I Miss You ng kanilang kailangan ng huling hantungan no? Kasi this is very scary for I Miss You. No one can easily tank the damage of Narf, but here comes another combo for a nice Blade Storm Feather Storm rather will disengage that two-man play from Narf and the Nocturne.
Oo nga, Narf actually pre-casted the Shockwave there, but because the Feather Storm was utilized to try and dodge it, now they have both ultimates unavailable for any other skirmish that might come, especially with I Miss You now eyeing the Atakan.
Nakakaramdam ng RP, but hindi kami invited sa party nyo. Magnet Storm pop for 2 people and random player using the Death Charge. Nasa na ang jungler, 3,000 health na nga si Atakan dito at wala na nga makukuha pa ang RP kundi purong alikabok na lang. I Miss You blindly getting the Atakan. Nicely done for them.
That's right. And again, as we're already in 22 minutes of the game, we're slowly moving into where the ADCs are slowly getting their items. And now, the big items are coming up for them. Good job as well from I Miss You to try and take that Atakan, to try and keep a better lead for themselves apart from just giving it to Reaper and make things harder than it already is.
Shout out daw sa top laner ng RP, no? Kasi nag top 7 daw siya sa chemical engineering boards. Grabe nga naman talaga. Oh my God, student comes first, no? At pinakita ni Optimus Princeps na pwede pa rin siyang pumaldo sa pagbo-boards ng chemical engineering and also here in Liga Republika. So shoutout nga pala sa mga chemical engineering dyan, no? At congratulations sa mga pumasa ng kanilang boards, especially dito kay Optimus Princeps. Maraming salamat sa kay Yoshiki Daranchang para doon. So yeah, going back to the game. Yeah, so everything has been in pace here for RP. It feels like they do have a sort of connection na could really be long-term for them. Pero I Miss You, dahil nga meron silang mga gandang pantakas dito, feeling ko nagkakagastusan talaga ng malaki ang RP para lang makakuha ng isa. Walang ginagawa ang RP dito to force a fight over to the jungle or even at the pits. So probably inaantay na lang nila, no, kung magkakaroon ng objective. I feel like RP should strike there.
That's right. But it seems to me as though that I Miss You are playing a very, very calm game. They're not too far back on net worth. The lead that they're giving RP is all controlled, it feels like, at this point. And it seems as though I Miss You are just waiting for that one opportunity, no? Isang pick off lang or isang big play na mistake coming in from RP that they can capitalize on to try and take this game. And I can definitely see them doing that, especially with all their utility coming in with Mallory.
You tried again, Reapers, pero di pa rin kayo natuto. Is it a diversion para unahin ng ibang kalaban? And RP, nag-overextend na naman kayo at dyan kayo nagkakamali. Random player forces the dredge line over to the wall, pero apat ang humahabol sa'yo, pre. Ewan ko na lang kung mabuhay ka pa. And Wako signs the D. They're now owning the top side. Buhay pa yung Baron para sa kanila.
Wow, perfect timing, no? As the Baron does come spawn. And again, that was a very, very big problematic play from RP. And I think I Miss You kind of had that foresight to see whether or not gagawin na naman ni Narf tsaka yung Nocturne nila yung combo. Tapos pag ginawa sila nandun agad nag-counter engage. And that was very, very big for them because the Nocturne was already out of position after missing that ability, after missing that combo.
Yeah, so it feels really nice. I Miss You, they are still in the game, no? So kasi pinapunish nga nila yung mga pagkakamali dito ng Reapers and that being overzealous na hindi makakaalis si Wako dun sa combo ng Nocturne tsaka Orianna. Kaya nga may Feather Storm, kaya nga immune siya dun no? And kahit nga mawalan ng ulti yun si Wako, that's still damage. Kasi masasalon nga nila yung maraming feathers dito ni Wako, and there's always teammates grouping up on Wako para hindi siya ma-isolate. At yun ang kahinaan dito ng side, the moment that this champion gets isolated, malaking factor na yun para sa RP na kunin yung pick-off na yun
That's right, very good point there as well. Pero ayan na po, again, Baron in the hands of I Miss You can definitely go for a lot more of these lane pushes and aggressiveness. The charm connects onto random player.
Eto na ang paranoia sa wakas. Gumana na nga ang combo dito at dalawang sasalon ng shockwave ng RP. And look, Justin will be taking over the life of a random player. Pero si Rocky pumapalo ng right click as he gets the double and he's now kiting the 3 members of I Miss You. Optimus Princeps nakarating na nga sa party para ma-peel off yung kakampi niya. Rocky is still hitting. Wako now fighting the ADC. And here comes the Feather Storm Ace from I Miss You. Binaliktad nila ang kwento.
Grabe talaga, Wako at 1 HP. Isang 1 HP na lang yun, pre. Pero nabubuhay pa rin yung sa ating Feather Storm. Was able to tank out that last turret shot, which will allow them now, with the Baron buff, to take most of these middle lane turrets.
Yeah, that's 2 towers and a potential dragon pa nga, no? Pero not really sure if Wako does have the HP para kunin nga to. But with 2 seconds left para dito sa Nocturne, I feel like this is not enough time para makapag-roam pa siya dito sa may bandang bottom side. Pero magte-teleport si random player, Di ko alam kung okay to para sa'yo. That's 2 high-dealing damage champions para sa I Miss You. And random player, inambahan lang at pinwestuhan. Umaura lang pala.
Ganun lang. Sayang na naman. Makikita na sana nila. They were able to try and go for again. But look at this engage right here. Coming in from both of these teams. You think it looks pretty even. But then again, Rocky almost tries to turn it around with Optimus Princeps. You actually think that something could have happened here. But unfortunately, the charm is just too strong coming in from Yuri as utility.
Yeah, man, like ginamit talaga ni ni Wako yung lakas at alas niya din no. Like hindi ako mamamatay sa tower shot na to. And ayun, nabasag yung anting-anting niya. Kasi doon na nag-access yung pre. Grabe, nabuhay pa si Wako doon. Would have been huge actually for Rocky. Pero here comes another play. Sa wakas, gumana na siya. But there's going to be a stopwatch here for Yuri. Yuri, can he run away? Wala na magagamit na Spirit Rush. Shut down claimed by the Nocturne. And that's 2 kills para sa RP.
Rocky doing a lot of damage there, and of course just being able to form the vast majority of this team, knowing that the Poppy is here on the top side. RP capitalized on that opportunity, that missing person and the numbers advantage that they had. And here we have the item comparison for both of our ADCs.
Yeah, you can definitely see na kahit pa paano tablado na nga sila aiming for that 4th item. At this is a far from reality dito from Wako and Rocky. Naakala nga natin nung una papangunahan to kagad ni Rocky, but nope, binagala ni Wako yung pacing niya. Bumalik na siya ngayon sa laron to. And because of Wako's just continuous pursuit para talaga ma-deny yung mga combos dito ng RP, parang hindi na tayo nakakita ng pickups mula kay Rocky. Just two team fights. Doon natin nakikita yung effectivity ng Lucian dito, no? But when it comes to pick off and just being overall aggressive, hindi na natin nakikita from the side of RP.
Oo nga, and a little bit unfortunate as well on that mid lane engage, no? The Ari was able to stopwatch but a little bit too late as he already took too much damage, and RP now were able to reposition right on top of them, leading up to those 2 kills. So it's these kinds of mistakes that definitely could have changed the game if it just went well for them.
Yeah, look at the threat here from the top side jungle, random player. Just putting up the wards and the vision, no? Para ma-take over nga nila to. Ito maganda to para sa RP. Mag-force kayo ng laban dito sa jungle kasi isang mega narlan talaga. Yun ang pwedeng kahinatnan dito ng I Miss You. And even the steadfast presence, pag nagastos kagad yan, magandang opening na yun para sa RP. Kasi random player could force that out. Pasok dito malaki Optimus Princeps, but I Miss You, they still have a heck of a damage mula dito kay Wako and as well as kay Yuri. So they need to utilize that in order to counter RP's chances of winning this game.
Oo nga, parang naghihintay lang na naman yung I Miss You for another skirmish that will give them a lead and put them ahead. As of the moment, sila na yung nagde-lead ng 2k gold paring salve. That's gonna be something that eventually could skyrocket, but because we're at 30 minutes of the game, it's safe to say both these teams, especially with no one being too bullied as of the moment, have the items that they need to try and take a team clash for themselves naman.
Yeah, nakalampas na nga tayo ng 30-minute mark and you can definitely definitely feel the team fights here for RP are very, very slow paced. They're not trying to go for anything really hard up against I Miss You compared to I Miss You that does have the strength to go for a pick off. Kasi nga, they have Luke Justin that could easily shred the armor of anyone here. And yung mahalaga dito is to disrupt the connection na meron ang RP. And anytime I Miss You can attack as long as the position is right. Yes, they could go for an engage, pero kailangan talaga group up muna sila, no? It's something that they could pull, a death push even, or force an objective. Kasi I Miss You's team fights really, really strong. Yuri goes for the charm, and that's already huge damage. Look at that damage indeed, Martin.
Grabe talaga. And again, it's just Narf as well right now, who already has his death cap. A very big power spike for him. Will be able to deal a lot of magic damage as well, coming on towards I Miss You's front line. But seems as though the skirmish is a little bit delayed as they're kind of just dancing around onto this river, trying to eye the Baron coming to this game.
Yeah, buhay ang Baron dito. RP could take this very, very nicely. Pero I Miss You, they have taken this kanina, no? So, anong pipigil para sa kanila? Sumalo ng dalawang shockwave. Ang I Miss You. Pero si random player, iba ang pinaprayo. Mag-over the wall na nga ngayon yung Doctor para mabuhay pa nga ng matagal. Pero sinalo lahat ni Optimus Princeps yung Blade Caller ng Saya. Yari na ba ang Reapers? The answer is absolutely yes. 3 players down. Pwede bang maging 5 to? Look at the Pillar of Ice. Basta slow down si Rocket, but he is fighting for his life gamit ang command protect dito ni Narf. Narf now running away and I Miss You got the team fight.
Unfortunate for them, no? Kahit na nag-i-engage na naman yung RP with that combo that they know so well, I Miss You, know long enough how to counter that. They were able to prioritize their targets as well, and RP, at least all things considered, nakatakas pa rin si Narf tsaka si Rocky. And that was pretty good kiting from both of them, no? Just synergy at work, being able to see them escape. But then again, an escape is an escape. And I Miss You will definitely come out better out of that engage with this Cloud Drake.
Yeah, it's not a matter how you started, no, Dumpster Fire. It's how you finish. And we had a slow start mula dito sa I Miss You, but they came back really, really quietly, no? At inantay nga nila yung team fights na magsalita para sa kanila, no? And overzealous once more ang nagiging kahinaan ngayon ng RP. Kasi kala ata nila yung paranoia ng Nocturne tsaka yung pasok ni Optimus Princeps, nandun na yung timing, pre. But Wako had the best Blade Caller in the game para hindi makapag-meganar si Optimus Princeps kasi dali-dali na nga I Miss You pag nakapag-activate sila dun. Narf activated the Shockwave really early. Pero RP still had the footing dito sa Baron. Are they going for 50-50 though?
They might try and go for it, and it seems as though I Miss You are a little bit slow on the response. A little bit of engage already, the knockback by the Poki.
Oh, makukuha to ni random player via an auto attack as RP will now be getting the Baron amplification, the team fight. Pero nawawala pa rin sila mula dito sa mga pakpak ni Wako.
Wow.
Double kill from the Saya, and Yuri now dashing over to the wall at makikita niya yung katawan niya dito sa mid lane. Mawawala yung charm and Narf outplays the Ori. And RP, 2 for 1, but the Baron, pre, okay na yun para sa kanila.
Oo, makahinga na sila dun. With the Baron buff under their belt, and Narf absolutely just dempsey rolling kung si Yuri, no? With those dodges and the damage that he already has. Being able to bring that Ari down for free, RP stand to breathe a little bit in this game thanks to this Baron buff.
Pre, it just had to be game number 3. One-sided after one-sided fights. Of course, the directors are cooking with the stories, pre. Hindi pwedeng matapos kagad tong game number 3 na to, pre. Kailangan talaga may intense team fighting tsaka plot armor yung mga players dito, eh. No? Kasi, no one could just absolutely die. Like, puro 1 HP. Tapos, puro close team fights ang nakikita natin, eh, no? We don't even see a clear-cut winner just yet.
No, not at all. Indeed, pretty well said, no? Especially with the fact that I Miss You and RP have just been responding to each other blow for blow in all of these skirmishes. And I think it's very interesting because yung mga objectives talaga napupunta sa losing team in map presence as of the moment. So as you can see, RP was losing a lot of map presence. Now they have the Baron buff and now they're pushing it again. And now it's on I Miss You to try and counter that once again.
You can't see any member of RP na pwedeng makapag-sideline dito. Yes, inaay talaga ni Optimus yung top side, eh, no? Pero sino nga ba yung mga nakukuha ng Baron buffs kanina? I feel like Rocky and Narf, meron nga sila dito, no? Pero I'm not really sure if they are the right ones para makapag-sidelane. And because of the hovering of RP, tingin ata nila meron silang lakas para sa teamfight, eh, no? Because all ultis are up from both teams. And That's it's very crucial, no? Kasi anything can happen. It's a 50-50. And whoever's
Oo nga.
ball is in the court, sila mismo yung magtatangka dito. If that would be game-breaking or game-changing, random player pumasok pero binait out lang yung paranoia. Ito na ang teleport. Akala ata ng I miss you may laban na magaganap. Pero isang ulti pa lang na mawawala yun mula sa siyam na nakikita natin.
That's right. And it's gonna be a very, very big problem. Another thing to pay attention to, no, is RP. Wow, look at that. They're all, just sequentially recalling, knowing that Wako and Knuckles have already been in the middle lane. But something to notice once again is the fact that RP keeps trying to go for these fights in chokeholds. At kaya yun, very, very big utility na coming in from the Blade Caller. Thanks to this Saya and her feathers.
Yeah, so huge actually, no, for I miss you na ginagapang nga nila tong laban na to, no, as RP still continues their pursuit of just trying to allocate some form of strength para dito kay Rocky na hindi nga siya ma-pick off kagad. There is a reliable amount of damage para kay Narf, pero at a cost of his own positioning and immobility naman yung magiging kapalit nito, no. So we're not really sure what is the game plan now for RP. I think they're just banking on the idea na baka nga talaga I miss you yung nag-aantay din ng play. So we're at a stalemate right now, Dumpster Fire. And that's something that you rarely see in the games that we saw from 2 days ago and even today.
Uy, that's gonna be the charm and engage.
And here comes Dredgeline as well. That's already 2 ults down from the side of Reapers. And they need to stand carefully here because anytime I miss you can strike as Yuri now closing in. Here comes the charm. The charm will hit and random player is attracted. Knuckles now in front of the fight. And here comes the shattering strike and random player is still alive. He's definitely tanky. A lot of forced abilities here for I miss you as RP stays in the fight.
It's gonna be a very good disengage from both of these teams. But again, now they know that whoever wins the next team clash could spell doom for the losing team. They know that this is going to be the very most important part of the game. The respawn timers are a little bit longer than desired, and now the Dragon and other objectives are up for grabs as well.
Yeah, Dragon now slain here for I Miss You as the fight will now break down. Who will win this? Who will take over the game? Random player taking so much damage and Mallory goes for the heroic charge and the GA is now popped. Trap ka na dito. Rocky kailangan mo ng tumakbo. Rocky doing a lot of damage but a nice disengage from the Mega Nerve. Optimus Princeps gives a second life for Rocky and a re-engage for RP is just so strong. What a second team fight from Reapers and they're now melting the health bars. Wako with a single effort para matulungan pang I Miss You but it's little to no avail. A triple kill from Rocky with a kite of the century.
The Nocturne doing so much on towards that backline. This Bruiser build doing very well for him. Actually just being able to annoy 3 to 4 members of I Miss You from the rest of the fight. And that's Reaper being able to capitalize on the missing members of I Miss You and almost winning the fight. Luke Justin, the only remaining member. Can he hold here?
Can they finish it? Look, Justin doesn't have any AoE abilities to dispel the minions. Rocky now focusing on the tower. And look, Justin focusing on the minions, attracting him towards the outside. Boy na dito ngayon si Knuckles and 18 seconds left for Wako. Desperation push. Rocky is down. I Miss You. Defends the base and they get to live another day.
That's a minute on respawn for 3 members of RP. I Miss You. What do they decide to do now? Do they just want to build a little bit more map control? Or are they gonna try and take an inhib of their own? There is a lot of time. But I think walking up will take at least half of the duration of those respawn cooldowns.
Yes. Man, I thought RP would have stilted the balance by now, but there will still be a base for I Miss You open Nexus, but there is no longer time here for RP to mess up. They need the members to be alive. I Miss You has everyone complete and they're now eyeing for the inhibitors. Masyadong mahaba yung mga death timers ng RP. I think they did a misplay and they definitely did. I Miss You targeting the towers and they're prioritizing the business on hand. I Miss You hits the Nexus finally and the chapter is sealed. I Miss You wins the game.
Oh my god. Back and forth from the start up until the end. We never knew who was gonna win until the base exploded, and this is League of Legends in Liga Republika, mga kaibigan. Unbelievable plays, and what an amazing final game for this Sunday, Salvatore.
Of course, man. We just had to put out a storybook ending for today's qualifiers, pre. Kasi we had 2 one-sided matches. Of course, we have to deliver you guys a silver scrapes worthy of a match because that felt like a grand finals indeed. Too early to tell, but for me, the environment was just too damn high. I couldn't even reach it far from here. But that competition was so good, man. I was on the edge of my seat. It was so balanced, and then RP struck. We thought that they had the game, but I think they just overstepped once again. Time after time, we thought that they had the game on hand, but they were just too aggressive.
Unbelievable. That's absolute cinema. Grabe talaga yung sinulat ni Direk. Sabi mo pa, Salvatore, with that final game. So beautiful. That was League of Legends.
That indeed was League of Legends. And not just League of Legends, Filipino League of Legends. You should recognize it by now that this is very, very strong. And you're seeing the hopefuls here unfold right now kung sino nga bang makakuha ng LCP slot na yun. No? I can't believe we're just in the qualifiers and we're already experiencing bangers like this. So what more if we head into group stage, playoffs, and then the grand finals? I can't wait for that to happen. But let's take a look at the damage charts here for I Miss You and Reapers as both ADCs played out of their absolute minds. We have to give the props where props is due, and there's of course their flowers, but the end game, the last team fight, I Miss You just played that really, really smartly.
That's right. And of course, may minumulto nga sa laro na to, but hindi yung mga I Miss You because it feels as though Reapers regret that final push that they attempted, which led to them losing the game. That decision will definitely haunt them up until the next Liga Republika, of course, when they come back, hopefully.
And the engineers weren't able to draw up a very good play on the last fight though, because Luke Justin just played a different style of League of Legends. Niloko pa traction yung minion wave para talaga hindi ma-enhance yung damage ng champions ng Reapers no? So that's the overall game stats for you guys, and let's now take a look at the game highlights. This has to be match of the day or even match of the whole qualifiers because
so far,
banger after banger of a team fight, both Reapers and as well as I Miss You was just trading haymakers.
That's right, absolutely. Just both of these teams going back and forth on all aspects and all times of the game, and it was absolutely amazing. The death timers in the late game definitely caught up to both of them. Bigger decisions for bigger skirmishes, and that was it. That was what gave I Miss You the upper edge, just being able to defend that hurt, being able to pull it out from Luke Justin. Absolute cinema actually from both of these teams.
Yeah, definitely cinema Man, ilang beses natin ulit ito, magtutunog tayo si Ramplaka, but it is indeed worthy of that statement, pre. Absolute cinema nga naman talaga, And this was the final play that put Reapers to sleep because this is the play that really broke their hearts. Luke Justin played that absolutely smartly and not going for the low HP bar of Raki. Instead, pinalayo niya yung minions to reduce the damage of the towers. And walang tatangkay ng torre na yun, kasi parehong malambot yung kasama dun ni Raki. And man, it just showed na I Miss You just played chess.
And if it was anyone other than Knuckles, yung nag-respawn for I Miss You, I don't know how the game definitely would have gone. It could have gone elsewhere. It could have gone differently. But again, there's no point in trying to reminisce the past, I Miss You, an amazing victory from them. And RP as well, putting up a hell of a fight in that last game.
One heck of a fight indeed, And it has been a day. What a day, Dumpster Fire.
Indeed.
From ampling up Inferno esports, pinakita nyo kami ng malupit na League of Legends from Reapers, just giving us one of the best gameplays of Saya kanina from the first game. And this third game could have been any more storybook Pero ito nga ating standout champion for today, played across 2 games. We have Oriana that was the sole reason kung bakit nga naman talaga nagkakaroon ng ball delivery system. Yep, Oriana still the meta mid lane for everyone.
So strong, with the summon area as well, and just being able to offer a lot more sustain thanks to that shield in skirmishes at all points of the game, ma-early or ma-late game, man. That E is gonna be such an amazing ability to try and gain an edge in any team fight.
Yeah, yun ang malupit dito, no? Tinatangka talaga ng Oriana, no, na maging dominating sa mid. Shout out to all the Oriana users out there, no, na nakakapag-control pa ng bola, na hindi napipigtal pag nilalagay nyo sa mga support or even junglers nyo, no? Ang mga gustong feeling ko, tataas yung play rate ng Oriana ngayon, no? Pre, kakapanood na ng Liga Republika.
Oo nga. Tingnan nyo na natin kung makakalaro tayo ngayong gabi. But of course, such an amazing game. And this is something that you have to expect here at Liga Republika. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these teams are trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, let's now go to a very, very important question of the day.
Uy.
Samahan nyo kami dyan guys sa comment section para masagot na namin dalawa ni Martin. So ngayong araw na to, ito pala ang tanong ng Liga sa mga napanood yung kuponan. Sino sa tingin nyo ang makakakuha ng LCP Wildcard Playoff slot? Let us know in the comments. No, pre. Ako pre, from what I saw from Inferno esports kanina, they look pretty nice.
Oo nga. And of course, magkakaroon tayo ng statistics nito, no, kung sino yung pinakamalaking fan base sa ating mga sa ating mga teams, especially as we approach later in towards the tournament. So definitely show your support in the comment sections. It will not go to waste. We are taking note of all your comments.
Yeah, thank you so much for the League of Legends community out there for continuously supporting the scene here at the Philippines. No? Kasi League of Legends wouldn't be like this if it weren't for you guys. Shout out to our production and as well as to Riot Games for hosting Liga Republika this year. We will be seeing you guys next week for more qualifiers here and gameplay of Liga Republika. It has been a pleasure to be joining here with Dumpster Fire. Ako nga pala si Salvatore, wishing you guys goodbye and have a nice day.
See you!